here, bro. Come on.
What's up, Brad?
Should be out there trying to fucking kids, idiot. Boy, live stream here. Turn off these YNs, as they say, out here catching a predator. That is one of the best things to happen from the clout chase vibe of the internet and all that, is that people independently are chasing down predators and just putting them on blast, giving them the hot chip challenge treatment. I mean, forcing it on them. You know what I mean? Come on now. That's a success. And they got content out of it? Look at this guy. No, please don't. Yeah, well, that's right. And it's hot. Yeah, bro. Well, it could have been way worse for you. It's hot chip challenge, or way better than them pulling the switches out on you, just letting you know. Some people aren't so lucky just to get a hot chip challenge when they're caught out there trying to fuck around with little kids. But it is your boy James here. Make sure you subscribe, show some love, share this thing with anybody that likes sports, politics, any of that kind of stuff I get into. I wanted to hop on here. I just got home. I'm feeling great. I'm grooving right now. Oh, Gates, brother. Go check out Gates, by the way. Gates Open Media. We need that content, bro. Hop back on the train. Hop back on the content train right now. We need you to go ahead and get on here and politic with me and just do it for yourself. But go check out his content. Great guy, great content, great perspective. And I'm interested to hear what you have to say about today's topics. A lot of the stuff today, honestly, if you guys saw the stream from yesterday, I was a little tired. I'm not going to lie yesterday, but I had to hop on here and, win a little bit of money with everybody. I felt good about it. I felt great about the bet on Notre Dame. And in a few weeks, no, you got to say, fuck all that. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Look, in a few weeks, it might be the perfect situation. Me and you know this as content creators. And I make the same mistake, so I'm not preaching. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I'm empathizing with you, brother. You just gotta get in there. You gotta start firing that thing up. You gotta get going. That's why, like I said, I just got home. I was just feeling the energy from the streets, and I had to take it on here. I'm also happy about Ohio State wanting some money too. Your boy has been robbing the Hard Rock fucking casino blind. They're about to ban my account. I've actually been doing them fucking dirty. You never come to Club Warner. Club Warner, I don't know. You mean the channel? Is the channel Club Warner? Is it just, or is your home Club Warner? I'm trying to figure that out. But brother, if coming to Club Warner will get you to fire that thing on and do what's right for yourself, then I'd be happy to partake. Also, brother, let me know how I'm coming through, because I don't have anybody check my audio for me. It sounds good on my end, but I also see that my internet's kind of fucked up a little bit. Brother, it's just, you know how it is. It's work, it's family, it's getting caught up in your own shit. I just have family. Thankfully, I just have family in town. It's beautiful. My sister was in town. She headed back to college actually today. She was staying at the house for a couple weeks, which is all beautiful. The back patio, bro, I told you, fire that up. You got to invite me over. You want me just to pop up into the backyard, like a genie? That's not going to happen. You got to say, hey, James, brother, I want you to come through. We need to do some. I actually, to be honest, I just bought a fire pit myself. You've been bullshitting so long, I had to go buy a fire pit myself, and I was inspired by you. So you can't live out here in Florida, this kind of weather, like this time of the year, have a house and not have a fucking fire pit where you're taking advantage of, nights like this, or like right now where we have a little, cold spell, which at the end of the day, cold spell, we're rocking 60-degree weather and it's beautiful. You said you were coming over the weekend. Yeah, bro, I gotta know when the function's going down. You just let me know. Like I'm saying, you tell me a specific time. Hey, I'd like you to come over here. I'll tell you I can make it. If I can make it, if I can't make it, I'll tell you straight up, I'm not gonna be able to make that because of this or that. But if I can make it, I'm gonna make it. Just like when I helped move those couches, bro. Don't think I forgot those free lawn cuts. I need those. My shit's getting a little crazy. I don't feel right paying somebody else, but I do. So whenever whenever you come through on that, and I won't be paying you, obviously. Like I said, we had a deal. We had a deal, and you found the one way to get out of the deal. That's sick. Um, let's see what we got going on. But yeah, man, come back onto the stream. You could even come onto this stream whenever I'm doing it. If you're vibing, I don't have the trailer anymore. You know, I'm just playing with you, really. I'm just giving you a hard time. I hope you're able to get back to that if that's what you want to do. But if you want to do something else, then I think you'd be amazing at that. Once you get back to normal with everything, I always said it before, but still stands as far as like, you're one of the kindest, most charismatic like communicators that I've ever dealt with at any job, any kind of atmosphere I've been in. So, as long as you could tap into that, you got something serious to offer. So, I'm excited to see whatever's next, my brother. Like I said, right here, there's a spot for you right here. I need a producer. I come on here and I'm just wilding out. Thank you, of course, brother. Of course. No need to even thank, but I understand you're a gracious man. You're a gracious man. So, I understand. But no, you're super on point. Always been on point for me. Let's see. So one thing we definitely got to touch on tonight is the Ohio State game. It'll be real quick. We got Ohio State playing Notre Dame coming up. I don't know where I'm going to go on that one. I'm not going to lie. Notre Dame's been beautiful for me for the last 3 weeks or so. They've been hitting. That's been beautiful. But Ohio State obviously took their game against Texas. Quinn Ewers fucking gave the game away, fumble. They took that shit like 60 yards for a touchdown in the fourth quarter. It was a tight game until then, and I was honestly nervous. I was about to lose my riches. And I'll be honest, in Hard Rock, if you don't know, they'll give you this little, up until a certain point on the bet, they'll give you an opportunity to cash out. I fucking went bold. I had a bunch of different bets. I was like, let me cash this one out. That was on the last leg for Ohio State to win. And I'm like, I hit all these other ones. I want to cash that out. I don't want to fucking risk it anymore. I went ahead. I went bold with it, let my fucking nuts hang, and came out the other end a little bit more. I'm not going to say wealthy. I don't want to overstate it, but you know what I mean? We're not going to be worried about money tomorrow. You feel me? So no, definitely good shit from Ohio State. They should have won that game, in my opinion. Texas has been showing many flaws, and the Quinn Ewers fucking total liability. I don't want to make it all about me losing money, winning money, but at the end of the day, they did lose me money when they played Georgia, because I love to bet against Georgia. If you know me, then you know that if I can make some money and it be against Georgia, I'm going to be extra happy. But I failed on that one. I bet on Texas to beat Georgia in the SEC championship. Quinn Ewers fucking fucked it. He fucked it. Pretty sure he threw an interception at the end of that game. Basically, when they lose, it's this guy's fault. So, they have the other pieces to compete. They have the athletes on defense to, prevent games from getting ugly. But just at the end of the day, you got a guy that'll just give the whole fucking game away. After you guys played your heart out, there's nothing you can do with that. So yeah, now I think it's the right matchup, to be honest. Ohio State and Notre Dame. I think there's some teams that could have beat them on the off week, or could have given them a run for their money. But I think these are the right teams. As far as like Penn State taking the loss to Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame was on their best day, and I think there were some mistakes in that game where they almost gave it away. On their best day, I think that's a better team than Penn State, and they ended up, persisting through that matchup. And then, yeah, now we have Texas, taking the loss to Ohio State. Ohio State did lose to Michigan, but Michigan did turn around and they just beat Alabama. So you kind of got to respect, Michigan is another team similar to Texas where, their quarterback situation is worse off than Texas. And they definitely don't have that under control. And they're in this in their case, they're in a transitional period coming away from Jim Harbaugh and things like that. But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. They're a respectable team, but it's not enough to be a national champion. And honestly, if Texas would have went and they would have played Notre Dame probably would have just controlled the game and won. Let's see here, brother. Oh shit, I see you're going hard. Just fuck everything I'm saying about football, right? Just playing. I love the conversation. So let's see here. We had to sue our insurance company to actually fix the house from Hurricane Ian. It's finally done, and we sold the camper. We had out front our homeowner's insurance. I feel that, brother. Okay, that's terrible. And honestly, insurance companies, fuck them. It's a completely predatory practice, in my opinion. You should have the option to opt into like home insurance and stuff. I'm not saying the industry shouldn't exist entirely, but completely how the system is built is to be a predatory system that basically guarantees the businesses healthy in one way or another. So the fucking business can't lose, which that's not business. Business is a risk. Our insurance had us stay in Sarasota after the hurricane. Yeah, I think I remember you doing that in like a hotel or whatever. And I remember you getting the camper because you were like running out of money or something like that on your insurance or what they were willing to pay. It's bad shit, man. Like I said, definitely that. And then the thing with the insurance companies where it's a rigged system, even where it's a rigged system, they will still try to just fuck you over the entire time when it's time to actually pay out. So when they pay out, they're going to turn around and get their money on the back end by fucking you over with premiums and just, adjusting your plan. But even so after them recouping is one thing, which is whatever. On top of that, they're still going to try every single thing they could do to not come through and pay that fucking policy you've been paying on up until that point. So yeah, I can go on and on about insurance companies. My mom works in insurance actually, and me and her have had some wonderful arguments about insurance where she's out here defending it like I'm like, what the hell are you doing? The last person, I think we lucked out because we use the same insurance company. I think we, see, I don't understand exactly what you mean on that to totally respond to that, but I'm glad you lucked out in whatever way. If you want to explain that, I'd be happy to understand it better. But I'm glad you're back in the house. That's the main, and we were talking about this with the fires yesterday when I was doing a live about that. It's like the initial cost and the initial suffering is one thing, but then many times people don't think about the cost that ends up coming the following months, years in some case, years if the insurance company is going to do everything they can to try to prevent people from becoming whole again, which is the whole point of the insurance company, is for people to be able to get back on their feet. So gates open, brother. I'm with you. Fuck them. Honestly, they sound like they're total bastards, and I'm not surprised by that. I hope you got more than what you were honestly owed just from the time you had to sit there and wait and had to have your whole family outside of the house. And then whatever kind of, home insecurity that may have given you and them. And that takes a psychological toll, truthfully. So either way, I'm honestly thinking about selling mine just so we can move someplace. I want to move someplace where the stand-up comedy is easier. Like right now, it's a fucking total commitment and pilgrimage every time I want to go do the stand-up. So I'm getting some good feedback off of it. I think that, if I could really commit to it fully, then, there's no telling, but I got to be closer. That's one thing. Just knowing me too and how fucking hot and cold I can be, where it's like, if I got to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours before I'm even going to perform, it's like by the time I get to that place, I'm like, I don't even want to talk to human beings. And I just want to fucking, go in my fucking hole. We used the same company we had with our other house we built in 2005. When we first moved here, we moved from Bradenton. Nice, lovely. Yeah, I hear you. That definitely, I mean, I can see how that could help. I don't know. I think they're fucking bloodsuckers, so I don't know exactly how that ended up benefiting you, but I could definitely see the whole loyalty aspect, how much you once again, because it's a business, how much you've paid in. That might mitigate some of the influx in what your payments are going to be going forward and how much they're going to try to fuck you on the back end. But the fact you had to sue them is just absolutely crazy. We were blessed, and I talked about this yesterday as well, as far as like with the hurricanes. We were blessed with the hurricanes. We didn't have any real significant damage. This last one that came through, not Ian, but the last one, Milton or whatever, we did end up getting a little bit of damage on the roof, but it wasn't anything all that crazy, honestly. We were blessed. So I'll tell you though, after Ian though, I walked outside my house and it looked like a fucking war zone. All the pieces of people's roofs that were, strewn across the roads and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was wild. I mean, and like I said yesterday, when we were talking about these disaster responses, it's like that is something that's inevitable. That's coming. You're gonna have natural disasters devastate areas of a country, especially the size of the United States. There's no way you're gonna um, avoid that entirely. So you have things like LA now, or like with us with the hurricanes or whatever. And there's other places that were even more devastated by the hurricanes. You know, money being put to the side for that, something we know 100% you're going to need that. The people are going to need that at some point. The people are going to be fucked out of their houses, have nowhere to live. And the people that pay into these systems and pay into these government programs, it's like they want to be taken care of at that point when they're at their most vulnerable. Those are way more worthwhile things to put this money in rather than say like the military obviously being the biggest one, you know. So let's see here. So it helped because we had already paid into with them. That makes sense. That's what I was saying. My neighbor had just got his roof redone, and after the hurricane, all the shingles came off. Oh, and a nice little LOL at the end. No, I'll laugh with you. I'll laugh with you on that. That is tough. That is tough. I don't know. Would that something like that be covered in some kind of warranty? I hope. If you just got it done and then a hurricane comes through and sweeps all the fucking shingles off your roof, are they going to go ahead and can you put the shingles back at least? I mean, and can I get all new shingles on the roof you guys just put up there? So, yeah, I think that I hope to God that's covered by a warranty, but that would have me so hot. Some people get their roofs taken care of through their insurance, though, as far as like not just the fixing, but getting all new roofs. I wasn't even aware of this until I met with a roof guy just randomly about our roof, not even about it being damaged, but just as far as like, just getting it checked out after the hurricane and stuff. And yeah, he was saying that you can get it paid through your insurance, even if technically, there's no severe damage just based off the amount of time or whatever. But the thing is, you got to be willing to, once again, like pay the extra in your policy. They did it literally 2 days before it hit. I got a metal roof now. Good move, man. No, that's a good move on the metal roof. If we move and if we build again or something like that, I probably would do a metal roof. Me and my woman, we have talked about that. One, I mean, how does it feel when it's raining outside, brother? It must just be a dream in there. You're just sitting in there and you just feel like you're in a fucking Coke can sitting outside during a tropical depression, which must be nice, It wouldn't be nice to be in an actual sticky Coke can, obviously, but fuck, put me right in the house with a tin roof, with a fireplace like you have, Lamborghinis and Ferraris outside, like Gates Open Media has. Everybody knows. Everybody in the neighborhood talks about his house, man. Shit just looks insane. The company we use provided metal to the other companies. No, very cool. I love that. Yeah, I think that was a good move for sure. And more durable, obviously, for when hurricanes come through in the future. So it's just not something you have to continue to worry about whenever, the storms come through. Because once again, like I was saying, it's like, it's going to happen, government. You have empathy for the people affected by LA fires, but once they get insurance money, if they decide to rebuild in the same place, then what? Would you feel empathy if it happens to them again? That's a great question. I mean, that is a great question. I mean, I think so. I mean, the thing is, presumably the thing is they already have insurance. So the insurance should pay that out, period. If they decide to stay in the same place, I totally get your point. You're basically saying like they're not helping themselves. They're staying in a dangerous place. But let's just be clear. I live in Florida. If you don't watch the show often, then you maybe haven't heard us talk about like the hurricanes and stuff like that. And I'm a person that has stayed in Florida for now. I am considering moving and doing all that kind of thing. But so I mean, the thing is, people have roots there. There's reasons to stay, and I get why it might be, dangerous, flat out, for them to stay, and maybe not in their best interest to stay. But I mean, should people be driven out based off the fact that disasters happen there? If you're going to continue to carry insurance, I'm sure insurance and property taxes, for example, are probably going to go up. That's what happens to us here, anyways, after a hurricane. So, and we feel it. Don't get me wrong. My property tax on my insurance went up this past year, and I mean, I definitely am feeling that. But I would still have empathy. But it is a good question. I think, like, you know, if you're considering that in good faith, I get that, and I think that is a good question. You know, at what point is there some kind of onus on those people to say, well, there's fucking fires here that are consistently threatening our life, our livelihood, the way we make money, where we live, our families, our communities. But I do also, like I said, just acknowledge that, you know, there's a lot of people that have been in those communities for, you know, their entire life, generations before they've been born, and I can understand those. It's not easy to leave your roots, and you know, for a lot of reasons. Let's see here. After the hurricane, I went around checking, and everyone who had a metal roof didn't have damage. I could see. Yeah. That's one way. You know, I wonder if in Hawaii everybody turned around and they were getting blue roofs. They're like, well, look at all these blue roofs, not completely fucking demolished by space lasers. Just kidding, guys. Although Gates Open Media, if you want that, go check that out. He will talk about the space lasers. And I'll talk about space lasers too. I just don't buy it. But yeah, brother, I think there's definitely something to that, especially when you're talking about things like hurricanes and metal roofs being able to withstand that. I mean, the pressure and the wind is just for so long. So it's like, if for anybody that doesn't know, like for example, with Ian, I think that was the craziest one I've ever actually experienced personally. And it went right over where we live, and the wind like was nonstop, crazy. Sound like you're in a wind tunnel for like 6 hours, 8 hours. I remember just going to sleep during it and saying, you know, it's in God's hands. But it is a crazy experience. So to expect, you know, to come out of that without damage is, you know, probably silly, and you should prepare for otherwise and do your best to make sure your house is intact, so you don't have to deal with the bullshit with the insurance companies trying to fuck you down the road, until you're literally basically just like completely shit out on your house. The bank comes and takes your house or some shit. It was like 8 hours I was working of the nursing home then. It was like 8 hours I was working at the nursing home then. Okay. I mean, that seems like a little bit off topic, but I feel you on that. So 8 hours. I mean, 8-hour days is pretty much what they're gonna anytime you're working full time, brother, they're gonna hit you with that 8 hours. You know that. But I know that was far away, if I remember right, your situation with that. Um, One thing I want to show you guys, by the way, nice little video I want to share with you guys, and I would love to hear others' opinions because I was just tickled pink by this entire fucking situation. So we got a guy here. I believe his name is Jin Lee. It's something of that nature. This is my first time discovering this gentleman, but he is Caucasian from the Caucasus Mountains of Caucasus. Which there's obviously nothing wrong with that. I love my Caucasus brothers. So the little issue with him though is he just can't stop saying the N word, guys, and he doesn't have Tourette's. There's not a medical reason for this. He just can't stop. You know, he is what we would call an adult. We would consider them an adult, and he just, you know, likes to say it. And when he talks that way, it's just really cool, and he doesn't want to fucking stop talking that way. Plus, he's a rapper, and it makes rapping fucking better when you're able to say it. He's really takes strong issue with anybody that feels like he should not be able or get the pass to say this word. And you know, I just want to share a video with you guys so you can just see this gem.
Plus, me losing not losing my family, but like me and my baby mama split up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been with my kids for like a whole year. You know what I'm saying? So nigga.
All right. Well, he's a deadbeat. So right off the bat with that one. So one thing I want to point out, this, like I said, this whole conversation, the short video here, is going to be about him basically justifying why it is that, you know, he says the N-word in his raps if people don't like it. And they kind of skip that part for some reason, but it's all good. And he starts out with just like, you know, my baby moms, you know, the BM. The BM is bullshit, and I haven't seen my kids for a year. Let me say it.
Really just been fucked up in the head. You know what I'm saying? And shit, I
fucked up in the head, buddy.
Said, fuck, I'm gonna go.
By the way, this guy's my cousin. Just be clear. If you can't see the resemblance, this is my cousin right here. He looks like, oh yeah, I remember Zach. Zach was a total fucktard. Look, if I had to choose between Zach and this guy at the job, I'll take the risk of this guy dropping a racial slur at the workplace. I'll be completely honest. Over the fucking idiot that's going to come in, doesn't know when the fuck his shift starts, wants more money, but comes in and fucking smells like 3-day-old fucking rigatoni that's been sitting on the counter. I don't know what the fuck was going on with that kid. But he had a thick skull, just like our buddy here, Jin Lee. And it does look like this might be Zach.
The original plan was just doing me all the way 100. You know what I'm saying? And shit, if a nigga don't like that, how he don't like it, and I'm active about it. Like, I want to punch about it. Like, Charlemagne, whoever, the first nigga that say something about this shit on a live interview.
Yo, what I love about this guy is he took it the other way. He said, yeah, okay, people are going to try to fuck me up. Sure, but how about I want to fuck everybody up? How about if you're offended, I want to fuck you up, buddy. If I kind of make you feel a little uncomfortable and you kind of feel uncomfortable with the shit that I'm saying, that's completely socially unacceptable, well, how about I fucking punch you in the face, bud? What a guy.
Nigga getting packed out about this shit. By me, not by nobody, by me.
If this guy tried to fight Charlemagne, there'd immediately fucking be bodyguards putting their fucking nuts on his head. If not the fucking back of their heel into his fucking curly head, to be honest with you. Gates open. LOL, I'm over here crying. Yeah, I'm crying too, man. I'm crying too. His tone of mannerism makes me believe he grew up around inner city culture, same as Paul Wall and even Eminem. That's interesting you say that. And actually, I kind of agree with you on that. Because I did watch a little bit of this. Obviously, I recorded and stuff. So that's actually the issue I take a little bit, is because rather than saying that, like a lot of times you'll have these white guys that, feel like they can't stop saying the N-word into adulthood. And they're like, they'll be like, hey, I grew up I was raised by a black family or something. I was adopted by a black family or like fucking Logic. I actually am a black person. You guys just didn't know. So it's like those arguments are much more reasonable for me to take. My problem is how he started this was not by saying that. It was by him saying, man, my baby mom, you got to understand, like, I got a baby mom. I ain't seen my kids in 2 years. Let me say it, guys. And at the end of the day, if you don't like it, I'll fucking fight you guys. I'll fight you, honestly.
I want it's that type of time. You know what I'm saying? So really the whole energy going to change behind this shit. Like, I really been humble sitting in the back cooling. You know what I'm saying? But
I just been in the back saying racial slurs. I just been in the back chilling, cooling, saying racial slurs. Y'all couldn't just let me be. Y'all couldn't just let me be me. You feel what I'm saying?
If I feel, I don't give a fuck if I just feel animosity from you, nigga. It's up, nigga. Like,
if I say it and you slightly act like you're kind of offended by it, it's fucking going there.
No, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, like, if I feel that way, then you did something to make me feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny that he's so sensitive. You know what I mean? It's like he's bitching about people that might be offended by him saying, racial slur they're not used to hearing, because typically in society we're like, hey, let's not say it. But he's so sensitive. He's like, if you kind of make me feel like you're a little uncomfortable, we're going to have to fight about this right now. I remember dude from Racetrack used to say all the time, and he didn't know me. I don't know what dudes you're talking about, honestly. So you'd have to, bro, drop it in the chat. We don't give a fuck about those people anymore.
Just no weird ass nigga like that. Like, nigga, if you make me feel that way, I feel that way. You know what I'm saying? So everything that comes from me is gonna be genuine.
This is every black person in this room feels kind of uncomfortable right now. Honestly, like, if they don't feel uncomfortable when he just is like saying whatever he's saying, like maybe they're just used to that. That's fine, whatever. I don't even have an issue with that. Really, people can make their own decision, however they want to do it. But the fact they're on camera, all these guys are kind of like, like, I don't know. You didn't say you were gonna cut the camera on. I thought we were just in the stew chilling. I thought we were just gonna have a conversation about, whatever. We're all cool, but now you put it on camera. Okay, yeah. We're cool.
You know what I'm saying? So they're activated the hood. And that's really gonna be like, you know how niggas had like the part 1, part 2, this gonna be my genuine 1, genuine 2, genuine 3, you know what I'm saying?
And tell them too though, like,
cause I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm gonna work on myself, and eventually, like, it's like this.
I'm gonna work on myself, and eventually I might not feel the need to say racial slurs. But until that point, everybody just gotta deal with that. At the end of the day,
it's like, I can't stop smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? You know how many times a nigga sit there and say like, damn, I want to stop smoking weed, but they can't. Just like I'm like, but I don't.
Bro, the N-word is a drug to this guy. It's like taking a hit of the joint every single time he gets to say it, and nobody says shit.
Want to say it, you know what I'm saying, just for the respect of the people, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, nigga, I'm me. So at the end of the day,
He said, I want to respect y'all, but at the end of the day, I don't, and fuck you.
I'm gonna change when that change come, and it ain't came yet. I'm me, you know what I'm saying?
On his
It's gonna
time.
be that. You know what I'm saying? So, and when it come, it comes. So part 3, part 4, part 5.
This guy right next to him, I'm sorry to top it, but he just keeps stopping, but he's on saying shit that's just funny to me. This guy next to him, by the way, said, yeah, you're cool. He should have said right there, motherfucker, I know I'm cool. And you feel uncomfortable right now standing next to me?
You know what I'm
standing next to Big Jim?
saying? That might fuck around and be the little change, but we don't know till then.
Yeah, dog, but tell her what you told me though. Like when you start listening to everybody saying don't say it or this, you feel like your music got trash.
No, that shit got ass. I'm talking about like, because I don't know what all I'm focused on is all
yeah, this guy right here is keeping it real. The guy to the right, he's like, yeah, there's a cheat code in rap music. We all know that. We will all say that. Like Lil Wayne has songs where basically the only thing that gets rhymed in it is the N-word. So it's like, this guy to the right, that's what his face says right there. Like, yeah, we do it. Like it makes it a little easier. We'll say it makes it a little easier. But I will say, as a writer, I enjoy writing, by the way. I like writing shit. And I have written rap songs before, by the way. If you can't fucking write a good rap song without just one word being eliminated from your use, then you fucking suck, bro. You're not a wordsmith. You know what I mean? Do something else. Do something else, honestly. Because even if you want to keep on saying that, it's like you shouldn't be working with words for a living, is my thing. That's actually a great point. Fucking great point. All right. It's like he goes out the way to say it. To me, it doesn't seem natural. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, he's not really touching on. I agree with G said up here. Where it's like a lot of times when you do hear rappers addressing this, and I have heard this, there will be better reasoning like that, where it's like, hey, I grew up the whole time, and this is just what I've been around, and that might be the case with this guy, and I'm sure it probably even is, but it still is just kind of like, just fucking know better, bro. Just kind of know better. M has made a career without saying it. Yeah, no, I mean that's true, and many people. I mean, it's a fucking landmine, brother. Whenever you start rapping about anything that ends with that at the end, man, it's a landmine these people have been able to avoid successfully. So I mean, I know it's not impossible. I do think there is a difference in the way he uses the word and the way Kid Rock would use the word. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm clowning like just his reasoning, but I mean, I wouldn't say this guy's like racist or anything like that. I would just say this guy's ignorant. Just literally straight like that. This guy's just fucking ignorant as hell. And even using a crutch, because I don't even believe I have a song from him because I felt bad like just joning on him about this interview without ever listening to any of his music. So we are going to play a song from him and we're going to all experience that together if you're around for it. And maybe it'll be hard and I'll be like, hey, okay, I get it. I get why he's got to be able to say it. But I do totally agree with that, to be honest. Like, he's obviously not, I don't think this guy's shooting up cases of fucking Bud Light in his spare time and fucking smacking black hookers or anything like that. Well, he might be smacking black hookers, but you know what I mean? If it is that, then they're asking for it or it's probably agreed upon or something like that. I don't think he's doing it out of hate. This guy probably does have black friends. That's the next thing he wants to say. And I mean, I believe him.
It don't know.
Hey, I gotta change the whole bar behind this shit and the whole cadence. Like, bro, we from Dallas, bro. That nigga at the end of the bar that hit. You know what I'm saying? You.
Let's just run that though one more time, because I'm like, the thing is, there's the self-awareness is at fucking zero. If this was Madden, this guy's making his character in Madden. Generally, I suggest a 0 awareness rating, bro, because
from Dallas, bro. That nigga at the end of the bar that hit. You know.
Bro, when you say it hit really fucking hard, I bet every single time. I mean, every time it definitely hits hard. Like, there's a reason for her. There's a historical context behind that shit hitting super fucking hard.
I'm saying, you feel it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't from New York and shit. What's up, B? I ain't with all that. You know, it's Dallas, this Texas, bro. This how we is. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, how about don't say the same word over and over again? Okay, there's plenty of New York rappers. I don't know what the fuck he's listening to. You don't listen to a New York rapper, and they're just all the time. You heard, son.
And it's just like, if they don't fuck with it, at least I could say, if I didn't make it, at least I went the way I wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I didn't just listen to everybody, so I can't be mad at Gutter. I can't be mad at my partners. I can't be mad at people that just think like,
if this guy failed, he'd be like, God damn, that's because you didn't let me say the N-word, bro. You wouldn't just let me say it. When I got in the booth, I told you I needed to say it. And you kept on telling me people wouldn't like it. People probably would. I'm glad. See, I'm glad he's going to be able to live on the other side of that. He's going to be like, damn, I never got that song with Katy Perry because I had to say it. And you know what? At the end of the day, I think there's more peace in that. So I think living that way, if I'm going to be charitable to my guy here, I think you do take more peace of mind at the end of the day saying, hey, I did it how I felt was right. And if I didn't have a song with Lady Gaga, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? Fuck it.
Chill out, you know what I'm saying? But just do it my way, you know what I'm saying? See if that shake. If it shake, then y'all might have been right, but I won't ever know, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to go this way for sure. It ain't no other way. This the only way. Nah, for real. Nah, it's a handful of people. But
hell yeah.
The first thing he ever said to me was,
say it.
Are you a nigga? What you think I said?
What?
Hey, yeah, fuck is you talking about? What you talking about? Guess what he made? Think about it, though. This nigga, like, only thing I heard about this nigga is, they got to shoot out with the laws, nigga, that gangster, nigga, pen, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Not meet him, and that's his first question. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't stun me nothing. Like, nigga, if I go to, like, I heard another white rapper saying in an interview, like, shit, he went to jail, and them niggas stopped making him say that. Boy, I'm gonna come out in a casket. Nigga make me stop saying something.
Bro, he's gonna die. Bro, he'll die saying this fucking word. It'll be his last words on his deathbed to his family.
You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm for real like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like you're not gonna tell. And then I'm Crip before anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna back the whole movement. You know what I'm saying? Like this Crip shit gonna take over. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna take over, but it's gonna put that behind it. Like you're not just gonna come after me. You touch me, it's gonna be the gang. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just like that. Shit, you know what I'm saying? And that's where genuine come from. Shit.
So there we go. We're just gonna wind down.
There it goes.
That's where it's from. That's how you feel me? It's pure genius.
And I fuck with everybody. We got Hoovers in here. We got Bloods in here. We got, you know what I'm saying? We got niggas in here.
Wait. Oh, hood. I got all my hood niggas in
there.
It's just genuine, but everything.
Little gangbang going on.
Real niggas beside me, you know what I'm saying? I'm
but the colonizer stands inward in the middle of the fucking room. Okay, whatever, no big deal. You guys got it. Let's see what you had to say. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't take honestly an emotional stance on it. If that's how people want to do their personal life, so be it. But the thing is, you will be laughed at. It is funny, you know. It is funny the level of just commitment that my man has to the racial slur. You know, it's unmatched. If we can revive that level of fucking patriotism in this country, if people could feel as strongly about this country as they do about saying the N-word, man, we'd be in a different place. But we're on our way. I think we're going there. You know the guy, but I can't think of his name right now. He was friends with Jock. Oh, okay. You're talking about Jock from Racetrack. I got you. I don't remember what we were talking about up here. Oh, the guy that was saying, yeah. Hey, man, we got, Brent. Sheesh. Hey, Brendan's watched the podcast a few times. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Brendan. He also does a little bit of streaming Madden and stuff like that. So he might have just taken his shit down. He might have just got canceled. You told on him, bro. I think he puts all that shit in the closet for when he's hopping on the Madden stream, brother. Which is the way to do it, by the way. Have a little bit of fucking professionalism, brother. But he gets a pass. He gets a pass. You know, definitely Brendan's a good guy. You know, I could say that. We might have to have him come on here and address the scandal. Tell him don't go to Polk County with that. No, I'm with you. I think he should go to Polk County with that. I don't think he's afraid of Polk County, to be honest. I'm just being honest with you, brother. Like, I know Polk County has some hitters out there, but I don't think Jen Lee gives a fuck about all of that, brother. I think he'll die. He'll die for that. His right and his free speech. At the end of the day, the man's a fucking advocate. Damn. And yeah, right there. You know, I know I asked for the name, but then when you said it, I immediately regretted asking you for that. But love it. Just fucking with you, actually. So let's go ahead and listen to one of this guy's songs. It's Only Right. You can't just sit here and kill the guy for fucking saying the racist shit. It's like you gotta. They took R. Kelly to jail once. Okay, R. Kelly's in jail right now. Or in prison. I don't understand what you're saying right here, brother. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, it's a crazy segue. It's what we would call a non sequitur. You know what I'm saying? We're moving from Jin Lee. He's not even doing anything illegal. And man's just, you know, and once again, I'm with my guy G up here. As far as like, you know, I don't think his intention is hate speech with it. But even then, here in the beautiful country of the United States of America, you know, you could use hate speech. Use the hate speech all you like. Now you might get your ass beat about it. And, you know, you might get fucking murdered. Now, if Taylor Swift starts saying that then she won't get a pass. Yeah, no, she definitely doesn't deserve the pass. She definitely doesn't deserve the pass, but she definitely says it anyways. Come on now. When her and Travis Kelce start talking about the teammates, when he comes home, he's a little frustrated from practice. Somebody hit him a little bit too hard. He's bruised on his arm. Fucking Chris Jones was a little bit too handsy on the fucking on the drills today, on the blocking drills. Yeah, I'm sure Travis Kelce has a thing or two to say about that. And Taylor Swift she's like, let's go all the way. She just pushes him, eggs him on. What do you really want to say, honey? I'm just saying they're really irritating me and bad guys. What do you want to call them, really, honey? Just say it. She's like the fucking snake from Passion of the Christ. Grady Judd is that sheriff who always is on Facebook. They say you come on vacation and leave on probation. Yeah, that's hilarious. But see, the thing is, that guy I'm sure is smoking big doinks. So they could get him for that, but I doubt Grady Judd is going to get him for dropping a few M-bombs. I'm pretty sure that's completely above board with the Polk County Police Department. Let's just keep it real. They're definitely not throwing people in prison for that, which I would be against, bro. We were talking about the free speech thing. We're advocates. Come on. We're over here. We're on Twitter saying fuck Elon Musk for all his bullshit. Let the people say it, and then let people tell them to go fuck themselves. That's how it works. You know, that's the trading back and forth in society. As far as like, look, we evolve from a certain thing. If people don't evolve with us and move forward, and it's actually truly a popular stance, then they'll be rejected in a lot of ways based off of that, and that's fine. That's the consequences. You know, we don't have to let you sit with us now. And that's how it goes. Let's listen to this guy's song. I am curious because he might snap. I specifically did not listen to this song because I felt like it would only be right if I was either blown away off first listen, or if, you know, we got to send him to jail. All right.
Everything I do is big.
Hold on. Once Upon a Hater? He might be talking to us right now. We might have stumbled upon a diss at ourselves. Look at that flex, though. I'm sorry, that flex. I'm just not afraid of it. You know, I'm sure you have guns, dude. Anybody that's gonna refuse to not say the N-word, I'm like, you know, as a white gentleman, like, this guy is fucking fluorescent. Like, I know you got guns, obviously. There's no way that you're not. They're walking around just fucking. Let's see. Taylor had that song that says Band-Aids don't fix bullet holes. That was gangster for a pop star. No, she did snap. That was a bar. She's a writer at the end of the day. That's the thing. You know, Taylor Swift, even when she really wants to maybe say a slur, I respect her pen enough to know she can write around it. She's going to find a creative way to say whatever she's feeling. This fucking guy ain't no writer. He's a flexer. He's a fucking flexer.
I do is big.
I don't like this.
Now I get a dub walk through this.
Hold on, my bad. All right, look, I'll promise once this gets going, I'm gonna let it go. But this is just the motherfucker's too funny.
Everything I do is big.
Is it real? In his own song, he got this guy watching his fucking video. I don't like this shit. Is fucking trash.
Now I get a double walk through this bitch. Used to put switches on all my guns.
Oh no, he's coming to beat his ass.
Put him in a big ass blood. Put on my chain before I put on my socks. Scotty outside with a big ass rock. Jilly outside with a big ass Glock. He think he big, get a big ass. He think he big on big. Big ass chain way more than my kids. Bitch, I'm the man and it is what it is. Little dude died cause the head too big. Hey, big. I'm going big and his pockets little. I can't hear shit that he say, I can't feel him. He pick off the pack, he the man in the middle. I cannot play with that boy like that. How you a gangster and you shot him in the back? Spit in his face and pull out the rack. Why you going big on big like that? Hey, everything I do is big. Used to be.
Yeah, he's flexing on all the fucking soft fucking snowflake liberals that don't want him to say the N-word.
A bum, now I do this shit. Now I get a double walk through this bitch. Used to put switches on all my guns. Now I'm having motion in too much mud. But if you want smoke, put them in a big ass bag. Everything I do is big. Used to be a bum, now I do this shit. Now I get a double walk through this bitch. Used to put switches on all my guns. Now I'm having
like I said, he used to be a bum.
motion in too much mud. But if you want smoke, put them in a big ass blunt. Hey, ain't you gently having all that motion? All on the gram, all them guns you told. I can see it in your eyes, that boy real rogue. Hey, I don't give a fuck what you claim to be. What you gonna do just to hang with me? I remember days that the family hated me. Now it's a dub on my neck just to hang with me. Mama told me get out the streets. I don't wanna hear that shit. Watch how I work that beat. But he can't rap, go serve that brick. Bust down the neck, go work that wrist. Fell in love with scale, but I never went. Hold on.
All right, respectfully, like it's cool. The thing is though, if you're gonna be like, hey, I'm standing on this, I'm gonna say the N-word or whatever you might be standing on that's like controversial. You do kind of got to give us something a little bit more than this. This is okay. You know, I'm definitely not gonna sit here and act like this is shit. I've heard a lot of rap songs that are way worse than this. I had something I want to say, but I'm gonna keep that one to myself. You know, some shots are just they're not ready to come out yet. We gotta hold them back. I think I seen him come out to say that's what he used to be a bum. That's what he said. He told you he used to be a bum. He's obviously not now, you know. I mean, one thing he's got to do though, he's got to fill that beard in, my boy. You know what I mean? You got to fill the beard in. You got to, like, this is the best it gets. You're doing a fucking music video, so I know you're presenting your best possible, you know.
On a post, but I never been fishing. Only time I see fish in my kitchen. These not the ones in the lake going swimming.
Alopecia in his fucking facial hair. All those years as a bum had my guy stressed out, like fucking Chainsmoker say, stressed out. Crazy ass fucking alopecia beard, bro. I'm just saying, you might have to head over to Turkey, get a fucking transplant for that little spot. If they have your texture, he has a very rare texture of hair. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, like, not everybody can have some luxurious shit going on, like the kid right here. And I'm encumbered by fucking headphones. You know, this guy right here, you know, he's got some strangly shit.
Mama, I did it. Shit on my neck cost a dub.
Also, look, I'm a big guy too. You don't, and probably the director, this is probably the director's fault, I'm assuming. But brother, don't bend over for a part of the video. You know what I mean? Because I can just feel where he's kind of like, you know, you're taking.
My neck cost a dub. When I go bust, Mama, I did it.
Yeah, you
shit on my neck cost a dub. When I go bust down the wrist, it's a 50. Hey, Mama, remember them times we was evicted? Now I'm addicted to money. You need some money, then I'm gonna send it. Hey, everything I do is big. Used to be a bum, now I do this shit. Now I get a double walk through this bitch. Used to put switches on all my guns. Now I'm having motion in too much mud. But if you want smoke, put them in a big ass blunt.
Today I'm using Upwork to hire word.
Put them in a big ass blunt. You know what? I gotta say mid, bro. I gotta say mid. I'm not blown away by it. I wasn't expecting anything better than that, to be honest with you. I was expecting worse. So you did still come in above my standard that I was setting for you. I will be completely honest. One, not enough N-words in that song. Is everybody else with me? Like, he was completely missing all of them. Now I kind of see what he was saying, where the shit's kind of whack when you don't say it. But that's still more of a shot at him than it is like, you know, really saying like, you know, let's let all the white rappers loose. We might get a really interesting result with that. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not super impressed with it. Like, if you're gonna try to make that kind of like artistic stance, if that's what we could call it, and you're gonna be like, hey, you can't censor my vocabulary. I'm gonna embody what is me in my art, and this is I'm really cleaning this up for him. You know, if I was his manager, this is kind of like what I would tell him to fix it like that. Instead of saying like anybody has a problem with it, I'm beating their ass. I'm gonna fucking beat them into a pulp, and my fucking gang member friends are gonna also beat them up. That's not how I'd recommend that. I would say like, hey, you know, is it what really embodies you, so on and so forth? That's what you're trying to say, it sounds like. But he missed the mark. Yeah, you gotta do something spectacular. That was just mid skis, brother. That was mid. Something that I think, you know, a segue to that, coming off of one ginger to the
I can reproduce with. And if you are a ginger guy, you should do the same. You find a ginger woman. And that's because we are racing extinction. There are less and less of us.
See, one thing you got to worry about, I'm not for the eugenics shit at all. But you got these motherfuckers with mutations trying to fucking spread their mutation purposefully, fucking other people with fucking weird ass red hair mutations. Come on now. That's fine. I saw what you said, G, ahead of time, so just kind of made me laugh. When I was selling insurance in Fort Myers, I came across Ply's aunt, and she was trying to get me to come in the house. I had to decline. Sounds like you're about to be Ply's uncle, brother. You passed up on that. That was a fool's errand. Yeah, you might have dropped the ball there, bro. But I can't imagine why she wanted you to come in the house. Maybe Ply's was sitting in the house. She's like, come on in. You want to meet him? 100% real inward. That's what Ply says. That's what Ply says. I'm not saying that for myself. But I love his work. So every song doesn't need a music video. I think if he just releases music, he'll be fine. I agree with that. One, the music video thing he's running up against, and I'm empathetic to this as somebody who I'm a big guy. I'm a normal person. I feel like, you know, so I understand every time you hop on camera, it's not going to look perfect. Like right now, look at me. I got home from doing what I was doing in the streets, and then I'm looking how I'm looking, and I'm coming on with no makeup and all that shit. So I understand like some of these artists and shit like that, they try to present some like kind of unrealistic, crazy fucking thing. So I respect people that get it from nothing, and you see him like this guy's probably, you know, hiring somebody that does videos in his area and paid him $500 to do a video. You know, I respect that. But I do agree, not every fucking song needs a music video. If it's fucking mid, because people are more likely to be introduced to your music in that way. So put your best foot forward with that, whatever kind of music you're going to be using as, you know, kind of like the jumping off point, as what back in the day, and I'm sure they still would call them this, but, you know, back in the day, there would be singles where it's like, you might get introduced to an artist based off of, you know, their single that dropped and a video comes along with it on MTV or BET. Usually those were accessible songs that was accessible, to be honest. It was accessible because he restrained himself from using any racial epithets miraculously, and it was catchy. You know, he's going big on big. Or as a big man, if he plays up the boss angle in his music instead of the worker trapper, it might go over well. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, look, I'm conscious of that. I know as a big guy, look, dude, you bend over and you're getting in a duffel bag. After about fucking 5 seconds of that, you're sweating. That's the energy I could feel from him when he was bending over into his duffel bag, and I didn't like it. I didn't like how we were relating, to be honest. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and also the beard is a thing. Honestly, his beard was fucking disgusting. I'm not trying to say it's not beauty standards for me or anything like that. I listen to plenty ugly motherfuckers, but you just can't look completely, you know, disheveled. You can't look disheveled like they put a fucking beard on a tall 16-year-old. He looked like the kid in fucking high school that the football coach keeps on coming up to and is like, man, you got to play football. We got to get you on the line. And he's like, no, I'm fucking playing tuba. What happened to the tuba? I'd like to know. Great point, though. Great point, G. My guy should have just definitely left that one off the plans as far as like making it into a video. A guy I played football and basketball with, coaches with Dion at Colorado, and his brother is Justin Forsett, who played with Marshawn Lynch at Cal and the Baltimore Ravens. Why you hating? I'm not hating. I'm not hating. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. The thing is, art. I love art. I love hip hop. I love all kinds of art, though. And the point of art is to critique it. That's why people make art, is for it to be critiqued. I have made art myself and have had it thoroughly critiqued and shit upon. Or praised, whatever. You know what I mean? It comes with the territory. You got to accept that. I don't remember which artist it was, but there was an artist back in the day that had a beautiful I might look it up here in a second. But he had a beautiful phrase that he said, and it was that after he makes the art and he puts it out, it no longer belongs to him. And it takes on a life of its own, you know, based off of how I think it might have been Stanley Kubrick, might have been a director. But I think that's a really powerful way to look at it. You know, I don't mean any fucking harm by it. I hope this guy's fucking successful, honestly. But he put out some music. I'm listening to it. That's what he wanted, right? I'm not gonna lie. Shit was kind of ass. It was just okay. And then G also pointed out some actually good pointers that I think, you know, if he lacks people around him that'll be truly honest with him, shit, there's some wisdom going down in the chat. Let's see here. So that's what you always tell me about LeBron. And for years, you know, I didn't like him and Jordan is the GOAT. Hey, I'll be honest. I think you're right about LeBron as far as him possibly just being a bad person. Okay. I defended LeBron on that. For a lot of reasons, which, you know, people can look at the archives on this channel at all those debates that we've had and things. Pertaining to LeBron specifically, but dude, the Diddy shit is just like a lot of people are tied up into that. You can't run away from it. There's just too many people that are on video saying like fucking Diddy's parties are the best. Like, come on, why are we having a fucking, you know, interview? You're a basketball player, and then you're fucking talking about Diddy parties or whatever. I mean, I understand how it could come to that, but you know, I'm just saying there's a little bit too much ferocity around which people are like passionate about the Diddy parties. It basically was a Disney party. Let's keep it real. That was a fucking Freudian slip that just happened. They basically were having Disney parties, and that's the fucked up part. Y'all are adults. Fucking leave the kids out of it, allegedly. So, are there any up and coming rap artists who prefer to call each other cracker as a term of endearment? I don't think as a term of endearment, but I actually have heard. So, once again, I'm from Florida, so you got BLP Kosher says cracker in his raps quite a bit, and what's the fucking one guy? And he's pretty cool. Actually, I like what I've heard. Yes, the Rugrat guy. 1900 Rugrat, yeah, that guy. He has a few songs where he says cracker, but it's not a term of endearment as much. You know, it's more of just like a general kind of punctuation when I've heard him use it. You know, just cracker. Just throw a hard cracker in there. I mean, I think, hey, take back the word. Take back the power. Take back the power of the word cracker, and start using it if you want. It just, you know, there's as I'm saying that, I'm just thinking of, you know, the origins of cracker, and it's just like I don't know. That's a little different. I'm not sure if you really want to embrace that, you know, because I mean, if I remember right, the term cracker came from the fact that there were, you know, people who would like whip slaves and crack their back. So it's like, you don't want to be like, hey, we're those guys. You know what I mean? That's kind of where that's problematic. Where, you know, the N word has this racial negative connotation, but it's like at this group of people, which I mean, so cracker is kind of doing the same thing, but I think you understand what I'm saying. It's like degrading those people, where cracker in a sense is sort of like degrading people, but it's degrading people that are in a place of power and that are doing harm. So it's like, I just don't know if you really want to like embrace it. Yeah, cracking the whip. So yeah. So I mean, you know, that's a tough one to rehabilitate, as much as tempting as it sounds. As tempting as it sounds to take back the word cracker, I think we might have to just let them have cracker. You know, I think that might be one that they get. And And who is they? No one will know. The world may never know. Cracker Barrel would sue. Yeah. I mean, they'd really be fucking, yeah. Because that's true. They'd be caught up in, the fact that now cracker as a term of endearment while relating to, they've done a lot of work to get away from the whole cracker thing, as far as like the origin. And by the way, now we got to look it up, because where does Cracker Barrel are they named after just a cracker of barrels? They had to have explained that at some point. Where did you guys' name come from? Because it's kind of making people feel uncomfortable. Cracker Barrel name origin. All right, let's see here. The name Cracker Barrel comes from the barrels of soda crackers that were sold in small town stores in the early 1900s. People would gather around the barrels to chat, similar to how people use office water coolers today. Interesting. Yeah. Or did they want it to be a barrel of only crackers? Lights. Whatever. We'll take their explanation. Dan Even, the founder of Cracker Barrel, chose the name to give the restaurant a southern country theme. Evans wanted to create a place for travelers to stop, relax, and eat a good meal. Well, and to be completely honest, Cracker Barrel is dog shit. But I kind of think I get his intention there, and I think they kind of did succeed in there. I'm just not a Cracker Barrel person. They don't season their food. That's just what it is. Cracker Barrel was founded. I want to see where this guy Dan Even is from, because he's probably fucking from Ohio or some shit. He's like, I want to make okay, Tennessee. All right, we'll give him a pass. Hey, Dan Evans, you probably weren't a racist, even though you were born in 1935. Man was born right before fucking World War II and decided to open up a fucking restaurant so people could travel. American hero. So yeah, Cracker Barrel. There we go. We learned that. Cracker Barrel is named after fucking a soda box of fucking whatever. Why was it called a cracker though? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let's see what else we wanted to do tonight before we hop up out of here. This guy right here. Of course, we got
thing, that stood out to you, maybe that was different that you picked up from watching Texas's defense.
Yeah, well, I don't watch football, so I know that sounds kind of crazy, but no, I don't really enjoy watching football. It's not fun for me. I don't really enjoy watching football. It's not fun for me.
Bro. So that's Carson Beck. If you guys aren't sports people, that's Carson Beck, quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs, the easiest fucking job in the country. You have to just not fuck it up, honestly. You're going to be surrounded by 5 stars. He was based. I remember my first time going there in high school. I went with a homeboy and some girls. I was weirded out about the store part when you first come in. Yeah, I mean, it's one of a kind, brother. Cracker Barrel experience is literally one of a kind. That's what they're selling you. It is a unique experience, but I understand, you might have thought they were going to take you into the back room and put you on the fucking shelf. The white rapper is based. Hey, he's fucking super duper. He's based out of his mind. And we'll see where it takes him. I think he might go to the very fucking top. He's so based, he might have to do a collaboration with Lil B. I think that might actually make it better. If he, and I don't know if you're watching this right now, if you're watching what we were watching before, so you may or may not see this, Lord Cabber, but shout out to you. The man was based. And honestly, usually people are ahead of his time. He's not ahead of his time. What would that be? After his time. He's a man after his time, we'll say. I'm sure he would have raised right to he wouldn't even be fucking having to do these stupid interviews about him saying this word. You know what I mean? Shit would be a lot easier for him. If he was just born 50, 60 years ago, then he could have been Elvis. But just instead of Elvis, when he takes the word, the music from the black folks, he's going to keep the word in there. He's going to keep the word in there. He's going to say it. Yes, much love, much love. By the way, this guy right here, just because this is such a fucking clown shoes, the worst player in the entire country, Carson Beck, honestly. Because, I mean, nobody's been given more and done less.
Watching Texas's defense.
Yeah, well, I don't watch football, so I know that sounds kind of crazy, but no, I don't really enjoy watching football.
It's actually crazy that he's saying that because he's paid millions of dollars to play football. So I get that you don't like watching football, but bro, I was paid $15 an hour to go outside and fucking, which actually less than that because minimum wage was fucking lower than at that time when I was working at the fucking gas station. But yeah, when I was working at the gas station, bro, shout out to them and Gates Open Media. That's what he was talking about earlier in the chat, dude. $12, you get your ass out there and you change the fucking trash. And by the way, they don't give a fuck if you're allergic to fucking bees that are in the trash. That's a real story. I'm pulling that from a real place. I remember that was a real realization. I had to just be like, okay, well, we're fucking not kids anymore. When I was at the job, I was changing the fucking trash for like $12 an hour, getting my fucking hands dirty. Carson Beck can't watch football. I fucking sit on the couch and watch football and lose money every goddamn week. You can't cash in $1 million checks and just watch a little. You can't be bothered to watch half of a football game. You don't even got to watch the offense, bro. If it's really that big of a deal, just watch the fucking defense. Holy shit. And the fact that this guy is able to transfer to the University of Miami is just sick to me. The fact, actually, fucking Gates Open Media, I remember now, you're a fucking Miami Hurricanes fan. Okay, so this is actually relevant to you, brother. My bad. This is relevant to you. Yeah, this guy is transferring to the University of Miami. This is how much of a fuck up he is, bro. He's been in Georgia. They've been competitive, going to the playoffs. He has to still transfer. He still has to transfer. Like, nothing really has gone that wrong. They just didn't win a championship this year. But it's like he's forced out of his situation because he's such a fuck up. Yeah, he can't come. Bro doesn't like football, for one. There's many. I also bring this up because if you've watched the show before in the past, we've clowned this guy before because he's a fucking Georgia Bulldog and fuck him. But rightfully so, always deservedly so, because it's shit like this where one time it's a Snapchat that he sent to some fucking whore on campus, and he's like, hey, can you run me over with your car so I don't have to play football anymore? I'm like, you're such a fucking entitled prick, bro. You are a quarterback. You get to throw the ball around in college football. And you're sitting here and you can't be bothered to watch a fucking football game each week. Each week you got to watch the football that the team that you're playing, you got to watch their football leading up to the game. And you can't even be bothered to do that while getting paid. Right now I'm looking up. I just got to look up where this guy fucking comes from. Where does this asshole come from? Jacksonville, Florida. So he's one of ours. Jacksonville, Florida. His family must be rich. The only fucking way that you're sitting here pissing away these opportunities is if you're fucking coming from. Yeah, he got big money. No, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. And I guess that's maybe the whole idea as to why he left in the first place was just to cash out on the money again, going to a new place. And Georgia probably was like, fuck no, we're not going to pay you to fucking throw 3 interceptions and pussyfoot on the fucking field and not watch fucking tape and be a horrible leader and a horrible example in the locker room. He's going to fall flat replacing Cam Ward, to be honest, because Cam Ward was actually a dog, even though I didn't like the shit, him sitting out of the second half of the bowl game. What the fuck was that? If I was an NFL team, that damn near would take him off my board. I'm not bullshitting. And I mean, he was probably my favorite quarterback in this draft over Shador. But yeah, I cannot get with that shit because people are going to be looking to you. You're the quarterback. You're going to be a top 5 pick. They either want to be convinced that you're going to take the franchise in the other direction. Because if you're picking in the top 5, you fucking suck. Or, I mean, they want to be just genuinely convinced that you're not a fucking shithead. Like, literally what this guy is. This is the guy. This is the fucking guy from draft day. The asshole that was like fucking his teammate's girl and shit like that. It's fucking nobody showed up to his birthday fucking party. Me and Trick Daddy are going to jump him. You better hurry up. But it won't take much. He is a fragile being. So You know, you're liable to jump him and get him out for the rest of the year. I mean, he's looking for any reason to sit out, to be honest. He's like, how do I sit out and still get paid these NIL checks? Oh, okay, I just gotta do your fucking commercial for your fucking, local car dealership. I'll do that instead of going to practice. My leg hurts. Well, we do need them thugs back down there to start winning championships again. You guys were actually kind of close this year, honestly. It was the realest Miami's been in a long time. I don't remember what game y'all lost. We all lost a game towards the end of the season that kicked you out of the playoffs, but you guys were right on the edge of the playoffs the last couple of seasons. I have a brother and a homeboy who live in Jacksonville. Well, they need to pull up to his family's house. Really, put some pressure on. The fucking I'll have to tell you the story about my homeboy who lives there. Brother, anytime. Hop on the stream whenever. I understand it's a little late right now, so you probably, you're probably watching the stream, sitting chilling in bed or something like that, relaxing. So no pressure, but one of these days we'll have to line it up. I'm trying to get on here and stream more. I just took a break around Christmas because I was coming back from being fucking shadow banned. Literally 6 months straight. I had like no videos get over 10 views. Like since I first started with 0 subscribers, I had at least, a couple videos a week would do a couple hundred or something randomly just because I hit the algorithm just right on some topic. So I was able to grow reasonably. But there 6 months straight, I was just putting content out every single fucking day. And it was just getting filed into some fucking folder that nobody was able to see. So then I came back and it was decent, but now I got to get really back into the flow of just doing it, scheduling the shit, dealing with fucking people that are like, oh my God, I can do a podcast, but I only have an hour and a half to do it. Bro, we do this shit. Max, I ask motherfuckers to do once a week, if I ask that. So you got to make that happen, bro. I don't know. You can't handle your lady to tell her, hey, I need 3 hours and I might not need it all, but I just need you to chill for a little bit on one day a week. That, I got to get back into dealing with that if I want to deal with that, to be completely honest. So I don't know, but I like these lives. These lives are nice and straightforward. It's tough to find time with my baby. I got a kid, so if I'm in the house and she sees me walking out this door, she's like, no, you're free. We need to play. I can't say no to playtime. So yeah, it's a schedule, man. For me, it's a schedule. That'll help me be disciplined. I'm not like these motherfuckers out here, and God bless them because I actually envy it, where it's like, oh, I got some free time. Let me do this. Let me be productive. If I don't have something planned and I have some free time, I'm like, oh no, I needed this. I needed this free time. So thankfully tonight, the house was quiet and I just decided, well, if I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna chill and I'm gonna smoke this weed, then I need to get on the camera and vibe with some folks. And I'm happy to have met G tonight. I'm happy to have met Lord Caver. I don't believe I've met you guys before. So thank you for tuning into the stream. It's been great. Not groat. It's been great getting to chop it up with y'all. And obviously, Gates Open Media, you've been a long time watcher. You've been a contributor. Brother, I love getting to kick it with you and talk to you any moment. And you know that. It's such a blessing that you're here. You're a strong individual to even like make it through everything you've been through, without even getting into too much of your personal shit. Like, so love the opportunity. I'm glad I hopped on here. And we got to share some crazy things, bro. Jen Lee, that's a wild boy. I'm gonna have to chop that one up into a small video, to be honest, because it was very flagrant what he was doing. And then honestly,
Rarely see gingers in my everyday life.
Shut my guy off. This is how we do gingers in our society, and it is sad. So now I kind of take back what I said before. I would have never done that if this guy had dark hair. If his pigment was, a little bit darker or a lot of bit darker, I would have had more respect for him. So I apologize.
That's not so nice. I think it's pretty cool to be ginger. When I was younger,
the fact I could see his red blood cells made me immediately treat him with no respect and disregard him as a person and think he didn't matter. And then when I saw the genetic mutation, I immediately cast the judgment. My bad. Although I do think maybe it's not the best idea for two gingers to, but that's whatever. Like I said, everybody do whatever they do that makes them happy. This is America. We're just talking about like what we think maybe would be best. Do what makes
a little bit bullied, but not that much, because I've always had confidence in myself. And if you're a ginger, you should also have confidence in yourself. Just because you have a different hair color, it doesn't mean that you are so much different than the other people. I need
to be honest, though, in my opinion, this guy might not agree. But whenever I see a ginger that's not a royalty or it comes from wealth, that bags them a dark hair or a beautiful woman with blonde hair or something like that, I gotta say it's a little bit of a flex on their part. It's kind of like, wow, well, how'd they do that? They got them to look past the red hair. So I mean, just saying, you're giving up that opportunity, the hardcore flex of, yeah, you can. Yes, I'm translucent. Yes, you can see my blood pump in my body. But at the end of the day, I can't say Meghan Markle, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know what happened there. The motherfucker comes from a line of inbred fucking royalty. So a little bit of a cheat. Is Shador and Travis Hunter this year's draft day example? They're both hot shots. Neither did anything bad, but are they ready for the next level to sacrifice such a high pick for? I half agree with you. I think Travis Hunter, to be honest, I see mostly great things with his character. Because I mean, he's been a hot shot and highly touted since coming out of high school as the highest recruit. So it's like 5-star. And when he made the choice to go to the HBCU, that was a big thing. So he's been a hot shot, and I think he's been actually kind of like more reserved than most people put in his position. Most people put in the position where they're Deion Sanders, number one player, highest recruit he's ever got. Was he the highest recruit to ever go to a HBCU? I don't know. That's something we should look up, actually, because I'm curious. But for the most part, I actually think he's maintained being mostly grounded. The biggest issues I've seen with Travis Hunter is like the shit with his girlfriend, where people are like, she's, I guess, a horrible person in their opinion. But it's like, if he likes a girl that's going to be dominant to him and boss him around a little bit, I just don't give a fuck about that. So and I'm not saying that you do either, G, as like that's why you're saying he's a hot shot. I guess I'd like to hear what's your criticism, even though you said they didn't do anything bad. And I agree with you, but then at the same time with like Shador, I wouldn't say he did anything bad. Like he just had the wide receiver from LSU. He fucking killed a guy in December and then declared for the NFL. So they're definitely not doing anything bad necessarily, but I see more with Shador, the issues of leadership, potentially the selfish shit after press conferences, like blaming his offensive line or, all the fucking like cringy showboat shit that he does, which I don't typically have that much of an issue with. Like I like some of that to like the entertainment value of it to a certain degree. Before fucking last week, we love Tyreek Hill. When he had hit him with the peace sign, we love that. God, Tyreek, why do you fucking ruin everything? But either way, that's that. I'm gonna talk about that right before I hop off here. But oh yeah, I want to say, what was the biggest recruit? What is the biggest recruit a HBCU has ever gotten? Let's see. All right. So Travis Hunter. I mean, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, how could it be bigger, right? He flipped his commitment from Florida State to play at Jackson State under Deion Sanders, making the first time a top-ranked recruit signed directly. So there's not another. So that's cool. So he is, undisputed, the highest ranked player to ever sign to an HBCU. So yeah, for the most part, like what I see with Travis Hunter, to be honest, I see like his fishing shit. Like I seen the stuff with like him being at Deion Sanders' house, fishing or playing video games. Like a lot of shit that he does, I think actually translates to the next level. And I think you could pick him. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, full disclosure on that sad shit. And I will say, like, when we were looking like we might be in play for one of those top 5 picks or so, right after Tua went down, I'll be honest. I mean, I was all in. Like, let's get Travis Hunter if that's possible, if he's there. Because at that point, there's a lot of chatter around Shador going above him, Cam Ward, several people, Will Campbell might have snuck above him just based off his position, because cornerback is a little bit of an undervalued position, not to the extent of running back, but just obviously not overvalued to the extent of like a quarterback or even wide receiver in some cases, just because you can get so much value later in the draft with wide receivers. But at the same time, when you get one that hits on wide receiver, man, it's a beautiful thing. Travis played both sides, and most they won't let do that. Yeah, that's true. And that is what I mean. Would Travis draft status be affected by his decision making off the field? Okay. Could NFL defensive players or wide receivers use that to get in his head? I definitely think they're going to use that to get in his head. That's a great point. There's no doubt that you know when people line up against him, he's going to get plenty of like, where's your bitch at? You know, do you need her to come out here and guard me and all that kind of shit? He's going to get some savage disses, especially. I mean, the thing is, even aside from other players saying shit to him, just the fans and stuff, like the fans are being ruthless with going after his girl and stuff like that. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I've seen some shit that I'm like, well, yeah, she seems like she's a bitch, but at the end of the day, I think if guys want to be with women I think are bitches, then I think that's completely fine to me. And as long as it doesn't affect on the field. And so far, I think there's no evidence of that. And there is evidence of her kind of being tough. So, with that being said, I don't know. It wouldn't prevent me from drafting him. Let me know what your opinion is, G. I'm curious. And Gates, if you have an opinion on that. I mean, would those kind of things deter you? It would deter me from Shador, but I think because, one, as a quarterback, I think there's a different expectation of what you're going to offer. If you're going to come in and be a franchise quarterback day one, so you're a first round pick. If you're a second round, third round pick, you get a little bit of leeway to grow into your role. But if you're going to be a franchise changer and you're going to be a first overall pick or top 5 pick, nah, man, you gotta all that fucking silly shit that you're doing, waving your fucking watches around and blaming your teammates, whatever, like all the little shit that he does that's just kind of like attention seeking bullshit. I just don't want that in a quarterback. That's a red flag from that position. Let's see here. My bad. Have you ever seen Kings of Comedy? I have seen Kings of Comedy, but it's been a really long time. Like Def Jam, Kings of Comedy, I saw like back in the day. I think maybe on YouTube and the DVD. So definitely remember seeing the DVD, but I think over the years I've watched, like I remember watching Bernie Mac's set several times, like YouTube wise and shit like that. They say Dion may coach the Cowboys next year or the year after. I mean, hey, I think yes. If you have the opportunity, once again, Miami Dolphins fan, if we get an opportunity to get Dion to come as a coach, I think you don't hesitate with that, because as the saying goes, you win games from the fucking Billies and Joes, not the X's and O's at the end of the day. The X's and O's helps. The X's and O's helps, and it's a variable. So you got guys like Sean McVay or Ben Johnson this is offensive coordinator, but for the Lions, I'm always blown away by how creative his play calling is. I watch a lot of the breakdowns on Twitter for his play calling. It's always so fucking crafty and just, he's really it's an overused phrase, and it's kind of weird to say it with, we're talking about football here, but the man's a football genius. Honestly, I'd love to see him in that position. And McDaniel, for an example, Dolphins head coach, is a good example of that, where he sometimes really helps bring the best out of the players, the Billies and Joes or whatever. And the reason I bring that up, though, is because Dion himself is going to have a little bit of that magnetism, that effect that people are going to want to come and play for Dion. He's a legend. People love what he stands for and the whole aura around him. I mean, he is it would be a lot to deal with, because I'm sure he's going to be very demanding, but that's because he's going to bring a lot. He's going to expect a lot of himself and what the program's going to be doing while he's there. He's not going to come there and just be like, hey, we're rebuilding, And if it takes fucking 5 years, hopefully I keep the job that long. And he has a lot of cachet that he's bringing with him, so he can make those demands. Where some of these coaches, even where I'm kind of giving them a hard time, and I'm like, they may sit and just kind of like enjoy the ride a little bit for a few years and slowly try to, if you don't have that cachet and you're saying like, hey, GM, we need to make this trade, we need to do this or that, they may say, just go fuck yourself, buddy. You don't know what you're talking about. Back to the draft day film, Bo Callahan didn't do anything off the field that would hurt his status, but questioning birthday party attendance hurt him in his money. Instead of number 1, he went 6th. Laramie Tunsil with the bong mask video cost him to tumble. Yeah, no, that's totally true. Well, but so I'm curious what's your personal opinion on it though? I get the case for it, and I mean, I'm with you. I personally, I think it's more of it because we probably agree with Shador. So I'm curious how you feel on both of them, but I imagine just based off what you're saying that Shador definitely, hits this description, and there's definitely red flags there. But with Travis Hunter, I'm just not seeing how that is really affecting how his teammates feel about him necessarily, and it's definitely not affecting his performance. He still jumps off the screen and won a Heisman this year. For example, even if we don't feel like he should have, which I actually think he probably shouldn't have won that Heisman, but he still is a baller, and I fuck with Travis Hunter, and but I do see your point, and I think that it's not nothing. I'm definitely not sitting here trying to say it's nothing. It's like one of those questions that you got to ask the guy when you get him in front of you. You definitely got to ask him how do you manage this part of your life, and he's got to give you an answer that you feel comfortable with. But the proof is in the pudding, and I mean, I personally feel comfortable with what I've seen so far. Shador, you've seen him come out and just straight up shit the bed, have amazing games, and have games where it feels like he has no impact. And at the end of the game, he may not have taken many risks, so he's not throwing interceptions. He may have a high completion percentage, but he really didn't help his fucking team win when they really needed him, in my opinion. Oh, I think I didn't read this. I used to be a Dallas fan until my brother said he hate the Bucks, but he and I played Little League for the Mulberry Buccaneers. We won the Super Bowl. I'm assuming is what you're saying there. It says won't, but I'm assuming you meant we won the Super Bowl one year, and we got to play in the old Bucks stadium. I'm sure is what you're about to say. That's awesome, bro. That's really sick. I was born in Indianapolis and grew up a little bit in Indianapolis, and I played for the Colts in Indianapolis. So that's a fun thing. That's kind of like that's a special thing because in those leagues, usually, if you get in one of those leagues, it's a league where the whole league has like the NFL branding or whatever. And so there was other NFL teams in there. To be able to get the team that is your city is kind of like, that's a crazy flex. And I'm not a Dolphins fan, but I was number 88, and I remember my dad getting me a bunch of Marvin Harrison. He hated the Colts, so this was a big thing for him. But he got me a bunch of Marvin Harrison cards. Very cool stuff. So good little memory we shared right there. Gates open. Thank you for unlocking that for me, and I'm happy that you got that experience, bro. That's one thing with the concussions. Football was so important for me in my life as long as I got to play it, that I do struggle as I have a child now. I'm planning on having more children. Whether or not to let your kids play at a young age specifically, it's really tough for me. I think I'm leaning. I don't have a son yet, so I have a daughter, so I'm not really faced with that decision right out the gate, but I definitely struggle with it. I lean towards yes because of just how important it was in my own experience. But then I know they can have that experience with other things, but man, football was fucking sick. In the film, they used a psych evaluation to cost Bo Callahan money. I'm thinking the same thing might happen with Travis. He is the best player, but will he be judged based on the off the field stuff? That is why I compared him to the Draft Day movie. No, and I feel you on that. I think we understand each other. I'm just asking you your personal opinion. If you were put in that position, what do you do? You know what I mean? Obviously you're going to take that into consideration and all that. Do you end up potentially passing on him for these concerns, or is the talent great enough? And do you think that based off performance and whatever other kind of testimonies you'll get from people that have been around him. I don't, all the kind of digging that one might do. Do you feel like you would lean towards take the chance on him, or would you lean towards what we've seen being enough for you to be like, hey, at the top of the draft, I have other options and I can lock in one of these guys? I'd be curious, just your own personal opinion. I totally get where you're coming from as far as the movie goes, and I definitely think it's relatable. It's just, I feel like, the guy that scares me away like that is definitely Shador. I'm like, just fucking no thanks. We'll suck again for another year, and then we'll go like draft. They have a ton of quarterbacks coming up that look like they're going after they develop are going to be killers. At the top of that list, DJ Lagway, yes sir, and I am a Gators fan. It is biased. I don't give a fuck, but the man is a baller. And let's see, they built a new high school, and the Bucks paid for them to have turf on the field. That's awesome. Yeah, that's kind of stuff they should be doing after all this money. And I get why cities provide some money towards building stadiums, but that should be the kind of relationship between these giant multi-billion-dollar sports programs that are in these cities and the community, and it just ends up paying off in the long run. I mean, you're making a bunch of kids in your community that are going to be lifelong Buccaneers fans in a lot of cases. If it doesn't work on all of them, it'll be worth it just based off of it's fucking free, not free, but it's indoctrination at your on your tab. But my son told me he don't like sports. I played football, basketball, and I ran track. When he said that, it hurt my heart. Yeah, I feel that when I have a son, if they don't have any interest in football, that will be tough. But I think just finding what else they're interested in, that's kind of something for me. I wish there was more variety of things that I could have explored growing up, but I really honed in on sports. So, and there were times that I couldn't play sports for various reasons. And it would have been a good thing, I think, if my family would have honed in on like maybe some other things that I could have done. It's just a huge thing to keep your kids fucking busy, or else they're out here chasing fucking girls around, getting arrested, hanging out with people that they're not supposed to. That's why they're getting arrested, not because they're chasing the girls. I got to recalibrate the order that I say those things in. The guy Todd who I played with, called me. He said they're looking at a kid from Port Charlotte. Oh, is this the guy that's in Colorado that you said coaches with Deion Sanders, coaches with Prime Time? And also G and Gates. I'm curious on that question that you mentioned. G, you mentioned it. I don't know what your NFL team is, but don't be so stuck on what your specific team is. Kind of think of this as a generic team, so like an average team that might be getting rid of their coach. How much of a push do you make for Deion Sanders? Do you make a push at all? I mean, I could see a scenario where nice. I can see a scenario where people don't want to pursue him based off of just how big of a star he's going to be and how much of influence he's going to have over your program. I mean, if you're Jerry Jones, if you're bringing Deion Sanders in, you're just not going to be able to have the same influence over him that you are with Mike McCarthy, most likely. I mean, Jerry Jones is a unique figure who's, maybe not as big as the brand of the Dallas Cowboys, but he's, basically as big as any player that's ever played for the franchise, and as big as any coach that's ever coached for the franchise. I push hard. No, it's good, man. I mean, the thing is, like I said, keeping them out of trouble, and those kind of skills that you develop from sports and stuff like that, it obviously benefits you and basically are applicable in almost anything that you're going to pursue in life, whether it be just like discipline. Confidence is a huge thing. Maybe that's part of it too, as far as people like, I don't want to play sports. It's a little bit of probably a lack of confidence. It's just like anything. It's like, oh, I don't want to go to this new job. I don't want to, start university or this or that. A lot of it comes down to comfortability and not wanting to upset that apple cart. You know what I mean? So, yeah. We got Tom Brady having Deion, I think, will draw free agents to come to Tampa. We got Tom Brady. Okay, got you. So, yeah. Okay, so you're saying if he was to come to the Bucks, because you're a Bucks fan, I got that. Yeah. He is a leader of men. Yeah, I agree with you on all this. I mean, I think he just gets it. You know what I mean? He gets what the perception's supposed to be from the outside. He gets what the perception is supposed to be from the players. And he really, I think, has a high level of just like emotional intelligence and just understanding how to play his role in all those different arenas. He knows what it is when he goes and sits down with a family. Like that's what shit, burnt my fucking hand off trying to do this. But yeah, he just gets it. Let's see. I make the push. My team is the Cowboys. Oh, we got another Cowboys fan. Hell yeah. Okay. Hey, no hate here either. I'm not gonna call you fucking, a cowgirl or some crazy shit. I'm not like that, bro. I'm happy that you got a fucking squad. I'm always interested in how people became fans of whatever team they're a fan of. Because me being a Dolphins fan, but I was actually born in Indianapolis, like I said earlier. So, there was a path that led me to there. I mean, I live in Florida now, so it's not as weird, but growing up, it was a fucking thing. Kids were ruthless, and I took football very serious. So there was a few times kids did make me cry shitting on the Dolphins. My team is the Cowboys, but they have a middle of the pack pick, which means they won't get Travis or Shador. So if I am Tennessee or Cleveland, I make the push for Dion, knowing they can pick one of them in the first 3 picks. Man, and if you're Deion Sanders, do you pick your fucking son or do you pick the guy you wish was your son? That would be an very interesting dilemma. I guess it would come down to, I mean, he'd probably pick his son, to be honest. That's one issue with Deion. He does give me slight LeVar Ball vibes, and I don't mean that I don't mean that to really knock him, because in a lot of ways I'm actually impressed with LeVar Ball's ability to get his fucking kids in the NBA, excuse me, and leverage their leverage, whatever that is, at that time. So it's definitely not a diss. And I think a lot of the negatives with LeVar Ball, he doesn't bring because he comes with such a pedigree. So a lot of what makes LeVar Ball so silly, it's like, bro, you're saying your son would beat Steph Curry. He hasn't played in a single game at that time. And who the fuck are you, bro? Who the fuck are you, bro, saying that? Hell yeah. All right, guys. But okay, so Cleveland, I make the push for Dion. So yeah, I agree with you. I think if I'm one of those organizations, I make the push for Dion, honestly, regardless of who I'm drafting. Although that's interesting you mentioned that. That's actually, but you're totally right. Because that's going to be the biggest downside to hiring Dion potentially, is he may handcuff your first pick, where otherwise, as the Browns or as the Titans, maybe you would prefer to go the route of Travis Hunter and continue to build a team to support the quarterback, and maybe you're not completely ready to give up on Will Levis or whatever. But if you're going to hire Dion, he's going to have some demands, and the least of those demands, I'm sure, is going to be, hey, we need to draft my son. And that's the thing, by the way, that's what separates him from LeVar Ball as well. That's his pedigree. He can literally become a coach of these teams and kind of swing his influence, where LeVar Ball is just a fucking really annoying helicopter dad. And you're just like, bro, your grown ass sons can speak for themselves. I remember when he went on fucking First Take or Undisputed, whatever it was. I know Skip Bayless, the fucking alleged fucking groper. It was definitely on his show, and he was kind of questioning LeVar, questioning Lonzo, and then LeVar's fucking answering all the questions for him, making him look like a little bitch. So either way, side tangent. Hell yeah. Okay. All right. And we back. Also, Dion played with Dedrick Dodge at Florida State. I went to high school with his daughter. Bro, it sounds like you need to tap in with Dion. See if we can get flued out. Can we get flued out to Colorado for a game? I like to do maybe some interviews or something. We could do that, but if they would really just have us come out for a game, sit on the sidelines. I just want to give my fucking dog Warren Sapp a pound one time. Just one solid pound. I know if I get that pound, if I get that connection, if we get that ebony and ivory fucking connection just like that, beautifully on the sideline, it's over. The rest of the night, we're not looking back. Honestly, I know we're getting invited to whatever's going on after. The function's gonna be crazy. Travis Hunter's fucking girlfriend's gonna be there slapping the shit out of him. See, the thing is, I don't mind having a guy on the squad who, take a slap or whatever from his girl. I know he's going to be in the hotel when we're on the road looking at film. That's an asset, G. That's the thing. That is an asset, brother. Some people need the drill sergeant. Keep him in line. So at the end of the day, I'm not against it. If he needs the mommy drill sergeant to keep him in line, smack him across his fucking head. You don't talk to the goddamn coach like that. Go to practice, motherfucker. I don't care about your Achilles. You need to make us this munyan. If that's the case, I'm completely for it. I actually want to interview. I would have to interview her as well, and we would have to have separate interviews. I would first would be obviously the interview with Travis, and I say, okay, now let me talk to the boss. Now let me talk to the boss, son. We gotta talk man to man real quick. And then me and whatever the fuck his girlfriend goes by, whatever her name is, we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. Listen, I want you on the team, lady. I'm going to put you officially on the squad, okay? Your job is to manage this motherfucker, make him the best man. You understand? I need you to be Nancy Reagan in this motherfucker. Tedrick Dodge went to Mulberry. Also, I forgot to say it, so it make the connection. I mean, I just believe you, brother. I mean, you're tied in. A lot of players came through them parts, including Gates Open Media came through those parts. Don't forget that. But I will say, like I said, man, the overall kind of concerned with Travis Hunter, I just don't think it would outweigh what I think he can contribute. And I think he's a good kid. That really is another thing. Genuinely, he gives me the vibe like he's kind of just a good kid that's really good at sports and probably wants to play video games all the time. And honestly, he loves football, to be real. He seems like he actually loves the game, which is, sadly hard to come by. I mean, just his choice to be willing to go to Jackson State, his willingness to follow after a great year at Jackson State and not transfer to wherever the fuck he wants. He decides to follow Deion, which makes sense. And there's no issue with that. That's my point though, is like, he was making football decisions that entire time. He didn't maximize how much money he could have made. He could have made more money elsewhere, more than likely. And he still made a shit ton of money, which I also don't blame him for that. I think, he's got to obviously weigh those two things, but nothing about how he's handles himself makes me think that he couldn't be a leader on a team for fucking 10, 15 years. And then his athletic ability obviously is above even really reproach as far as that goes. Like, his tape is fucking crazy. Jumps off the scene, a ball hawk, like a unique level of feel for the game. So I really don't think you can go wrong with drafting him, to be honest. So I just wouldn't have any of that hesitation. I gotta go back. Let me remind myself real quick. Okay, G. So with this, although I like this response and you did sort of respond, I am curious with you, cousin. I'm just wondering if you're in that position. Do you take those guys? They won't get. I know we're saying that we would take Deion, and you're making the push for Deion, and then you might not have like might not have every choice in the world, but let's just say that variable's not in the mix. Because even if that's not in the mix, I'm taking Travis Hunter, to be honest. I might be tempted to take the big fucking edge rusher out of Penn State, the fuck Abdul Smith or some shit like that. I would be really tempted to take a look at him, like that kind of athleticism and bend and just speed and power. He's got everything you want out of a pass rusher. Not something you see every year, even in the draft. So I would be enticed by that pick. Maybe not with like maybe a top 2 pick or whatever. But honestly, I probably would. Fuck that. Yeah, I think people are wrong. Like, if it's a consensus that we're saying Shador, Cam Ward. Like I said, I know Will Campbell's up there. We're saying these players are completely better than Abdul is, and I don't know if I'm getting his name right with Smith, but the motherfucker is a problem on the edge. But most of all, Abdul Carter. My bad. Okay. Hey, some just descript random fucking name. Undescript. So let's see here if I got anything else. Oh yeah, this is a fun little video I want to play for y'all.
He apologized? Okay, did he?
We've played this guy's videos before on the pod and Gates Open Media. This is specifically for you, brother. But tell me this guy does not remind you of Kevin. Honest to God.
Mean it? You don't feel like it was genuine? What a fucking gaslighter! How could he not mean it after being this animal monster? You shouldn't have to go through this, and I hate seeing it. Okay? He should, instead of saying sorry, he should show you. Actions speak louder than words. Well, if you need somebody to spoil you, you know who to call.
Fucking creep. I love it. I love it. But yeah, tell me that don't remind you of Kevin, Gates Open Media. That's actually why I pulled it. So I'm glad you tuned in tonight because it reminded me of my brother Kevin. Oh Lord. And it's not just because the adorable freckles on the man's fucking nose, but the man's temperament. I mean, honestly, and he's joking. He's playing a character that character exists in the wild. Trust me on that. Tracy McGrady from Polk County. Freddie Mitchell, Ray Lewis, Tracy McGrady is from there too. Well, you mentioned Tracy McGrady at the beginning. I will say that. But Polk County, man, it's chock full of athletes, blue chips, brother. I know that. Come on. I know that. You know who you're talking to here. I know that. I know you got some talent that comes out of Polk County. I will say that. I mean, none of those guys are the greatest of all time, though. Just want to say, Michael Jackson, alleged pederast, but king of pop, came out of Indiana. Just want to point that out. Yeah, he asked me to car work. Asked me to car work where he's from. Yes. Dwayne Beacon. I don't know who the hell these people are, bro. I don't know who the fuck Dwayne Beacon is. And honestly, I don't know what you're saying here either. Yeah, he asked me to car work where he's from. But if it's Polk County, which I'm sure it is, I'm sure you're fucking putting on for Polk County right now. I love it, brother. I agree. I say, hey, it's a great place to be. It's a great place to live. Great place to be from. Florida, where I'm located. Very blessed to be here, sitting and politicking with you guys. I got to do this more often. I have another video here, but I got to get back in here in the house with my baby and stuff like that and vibe out because she was waking up. So I do got to get back into there, unfortunately, but I got a Piers Morgan video. So just keep a lookout. Make sure you hit the notifications. We'll be live again shortly. If not tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow, Saturday? Yeah, I'll probably make something happen tomorrow. This was too much fun. G, I hope you lock in. G, go follow us over on YouTube if you don't mind, just because I'm more reliable over on YouTube, to be honest, than Twitch. Right now I'm using StreamYard, so I'm able to stream through both. So that's why I'm on Twitch, but I'm not always over there. And you were great for the conversation, man. It was really fun talking to you, honestly. And it seems like you know a lot about football and movies. You know, the draft day conversation, that's right up my alley, baby. I love to get into some film talk and mix it in with the sports. And we talk about politics as well. That was actually the Piers Morgan video. We were going to talk about politics and Trump. And how we feel about all that going on. Are we going to take over Canada, guys? I don't know. Gee, I don't know if you're American yourself. You're a Cowboys fan. You must be. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. You know, like some of the shit I haven't really been for. Like some of it's like, obviously, don't talk to me about the fucking Gulf of America. Let's get some real health care in this bitch. You know what I mean? Let's get some real protectors for workers so we don't all lose our jobs to fucking robots in 5 years. That's what I would really be jazzed about and I would prefer to see. So I do think the whole like, hey, we're gonna do Golf America. I think that's kind of horseshit and just kind of a distraction. It's one of those feel good things. It's like give the fucking peasants that. Make them feel excited about us renaming the fucking water. I have over 200 Michael Jordan basketball and baseball cards. Oh yeah, bro. I've seen the collection. The collection's fucking deep. And also the type of cards that you have. You have the fuck like I mean, I guess you said baseball, but yeah, you got some rare shit. Actually, I don't even know if you should be saying that on the internet. You might have the American pickers fucking pull up to the crib, tell you to open up the binders. Open up the binders. We want to see what you got. That's my Canadian accent. But yeah, guys, how do you feel about Canada? G, if you're in here, brother, like I said, I don't know if I'm talking to a ghost or not, but like I said, much love, man. You were definitely cool as fuck to talk to. Pull up on that YouTube so we don't lose you. It was cool to get to vibe out. Gates open, bro. We got to line it up to hop in here. And G, by the way, I don't know if you stream or do anything like that, but I don't mind getting on here and talking to people in that way. I try to not pressure people because sometimes, I'm just trying to watch the fucking content. I don't want to hop in there and fucking put my face on the screen. And I do content. So it's like I'm thoughtful to that point of view for people. So no pressure. But if you ever do want to hop in here, I will drop that link and we can really chop it up about whatever. Or anybody else that that might want to hop on and just chop it up. Oh my God. Is Shador more like Willie Beeman? I think he wants to be Willie Beeman, man. Fucking Any Given Sunday. What a fucking amazing film. You mentioned that actually. That's a high five. We're brothers now. Yeah, I've watched that movie more times than we can count. And like, I won't lie, when I was a kid, I also kind of, I'm not gonna go so far as to say idolize, but obviously I thought Willie Beeman was cool as fuck. I can't tell you how many times I made Willie Beeman in Madden, bro. I created Willie Beeman in Madden, and he was fucking going off for the Miami Dolphins. In the movie at the end, when fucking Al Pacino gets the job, but fucking trades him to the squad, trades him to his new team, and then Cameron Diaz is like, "How the fuck? How the fuck did you do that?" He's like, "It was an email, bitch. I hit schedule later, and you didn't even know." Love that. That shit was fire. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna say he's Willie Beeman because I actually think Willie Beeman there's a level of praise that goes with that. It's almost like Cam Ward might be more of a Willie Beeman, like him sitting out of the fucking halftime of the game and then also talking shit about it later. You gotta be resolute afterwards. There's some Miami Hurricanes fans that was hurt by that. And I mean, there's no doubt. Like, I mean, you can't say definitively if he would have played that they wouldn't have lost, but they had the lead with him in the game. They were in a comfortable position. That's why he felt like it was okay to sit down. But it's like, why the fuck are you sitting down? Long pause for a reason on that. That's how I just have to hit him if I was on the side. Why the fuck? It's the concern of injury. I get. I absolutely get it. I've been injured playing football, and I've obviously seen hundreds of injuries in football. But there has to be like some kind of level of sacrifice to the thing you're doing. You know what I mean? You just can't control everything. Sorry. Get your fucking ass out there and play ball. Like, yeah, you could get hurt. That's possible. But you know what? Most of the time you play football and you don't get hurt, right? We're going to try to do that. We're going to try to protect you. We're not going to be, reckless. It's not like it's going to be like a Jalen Hurts game where we're like, all right, bro, well, look, this is your last game in college. I want to see you run this ball 20 times. So we're not going to do that. We're going to be mindful. We're not going to put you unfairly at risk. But no, we need you to play. Because it's like when we locked in on this and we offered you the scholarship or whatever, we brought you to this team. It's like we were all in. That's one thing. Honestly, Dan Campbell, this motherfucker is a savage. I fuck with Dan Campbell heavily. He said recently when they were kind of addressing some of the players sitting out or whatever for the last week, and they said they weren't going to sit the Detroit Lions starters. And he made a fucking legendary statement, which he's like, yeah, the same thing kind of I'm saying as far as like, look, the injuries, yes, that's a concern that we're going to try to avoid, and that's football, and we're going to try to avoid it. But at the end of the day, think about how much of a disservice you do. If we're saying honestly that injuries are a concern, think about the disservice you're doing to those other guys out on the field that have been busting their ass all year, probably playing a more injury riddled position than the people that are asking or that are typically sat out. So like offensive linemen obviously are hurt at a way higher clip than quarterbacks or whatever. And it's like those guys are still going to be asked to go in and give their best. So how do you ask those people to go in and give their best and risk their own livelihood, which they're also, by the way, not as handsomely compensated as these fucking pussies who said, "Out, Cam Ward, you fucking pussy." Like I said, I like Cam Ward. I think he's a baller. That's why he reminds me more of Willie Beeman, because he is a baller. There's no doubt about it. He's got the arm, he's got the football IQ. He obviously has the athleticism. There's a lot that you could do there with Cam Ward, but there's a little bit of a concern between the ears, and that's just fucking reality. I'm sorry to say. Let's see here. So, yet the Eagles coach didn't catch as much crap about sitting Saquon to get the rushing record, but Cam Ward made a business decision and he gets crap. But the thing is, like what I was saying about the Lions head coach, because I think he might have even been saying this in response to the Eagles sitting people or something. I personally would disagree with that. Although, I mean, like, I'm not going to kill them as much. The thing is with Cam Ward, he made a business decision and then they fucking lost. They literally lost. The game wasn't in a safe place. This was the championship for them. This was a bowl game for them. This is the last game of the season. Like in the Eagles case, at least you could make the case that they are, the game kind of doesn't matter, overall, kind of like sometimes it still has an impact seating wise, but obviously anybody that's sitting there, players, these are teams that have already clinched the playoffs and they're locked in. So with that being said, there is a little bit of a difference between the business decision that they're making. I agree that either way on both sides, it's a business decision. It's all about, risk and reward and not wanting to risk these players getting hurt and not being available to you for the playoffs or whatever. But that's not the decision that Cam Ward was making. Now, the thing is, Cam Ward was obviously, and I mean, I still agree with your analysis there as far as like, it is unfair that we're not going to criticize the Eagles. I just don't know if it's a 1-to-1, like the equal criticism. So let's see here. But definitely still criticism. I'm happy to criticize the Eagles, brother. Yeah, fuck them. This era is all trash now. Let's end this thing on a negative note. Yeah, the running back position has been devalued. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely true. Which, by the way, is really interesting because two of the, most successful teams this year did go sign running backs that the team that those running backs were on initially were not willing to sign them to, these lucrative deals. And then both those players end up having, I don't know if Derrick Henry had a career best year, but Saquon did, obviously. Let's see here. They added one game to the NFL, so do they pay them more money? Every year they end up paying them a little bit more. So just by virtue of that, by virtue of the salary cap going up, they pay them more. But I honestly think the one extra game is bullshit. And I don't like the one extra game because then you end up we already have the last week of the season, the situation where teams end up sitting players most of the time. Or some teams it's just a fucking bonus week, which I'm like, give me a fucking break on that. I like, honestly, all the people like celebrating these fucking players getting bonuses. I'm just like, maybe I'm just a curmudgeon. Not that I'm not happy that they're getting bonuses, but I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and like celebrate players, millionaires getting $1 million bonuses. Like, okay, whatever. They did their job and got extra money. I'm not going to celebrate that shit. I don't give a fuck. So think of Vic played in today's game. They didn't run as much. One time I had a guy who played with Vic. on the show from Barto. Hi. One thing the other day I was watching the Ravens play, and I want to say that Lamar Jackson has already passed Michael Vick's career rushing total, or if not, he's really close. So, and then after he does that, he'll have the record for it. So you are right. The game has changed so much where it's like Lamar Jackson presumably is going to have another 5-10 years in his career potentially. Like, so what's that? What are those numbers going to look like? And an extra game every year. That's one of the main reasons I don't like the extra game, is I feel like it just fucks up the record books. I was on a podcast recently with some alcoholics, and they were arguing about running backs actually, and they were talking about, oh, nobody can say anything about anybody that if you can't say it was anybody's better than Barry Sanders, which I respect. And I'm like, hey, I get Barry Sanders obviously should be concrete in that conversation. No way you can have that conversation and not mention Barry Sanders. But it's like, to say we can't mention anybody is crazy. You're really losing sight of, like I said, some really great players. And after that, I mentioned Jim Brown and OJ Simpson, truthfully. And the reason I mentioned them is because OJ Simpson, the guy ran for 2,000 fucking yards in a 13-game season. Like, what the fuck is that? That's absolutely bonkers, bro. People can't get over 1,500 damn near, in today's NFL in with an extra game. Well, actually, an extra game added on to what was already fucking 4 games added on to what he was playing. So he and I was going to get Vic on the show. You definitely should get Vic on the show if that's still a possibility, bro. That's not over. He just actually he became I might be fucking this up a little bit, but I'm 80% sure he just took a head coaching job. Let me look this shit up. Yeah, because I might be completely fucking wrong. Mike Vick. But yeah, if he's a head coach now, shit, definitely. It would benefit him even to, be doing media and stuff like that and getting out there talking about his program that he's getting going. Yeah, Norfolk State. So let's see. And so he was an offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Legends. What the fuck is this? So they were a professional American football franchise based in, this is in the AAF. Holy shit. This guy went from coaching in the AAF. What year was that he coached on this team? I mean, not that he's 2016. It might be 16 or 18 or 19 even. It's kind of small and my fucking eyes can't really see it. Can I zoom in? I think that's 2019. Yeah, 2019. So he hasn't coached in 6 years, according to Wikipedia anyways. I say fuck it, give him the job. That would concern me a little bit, but hey, I mean, the thing is, you don't have to question whether or not he knows football. He knows ball. It's just, is he gonna be the best person to run a program? I don't know. Well, just time will tell. But that's another issue of pedigree, and I think a lot of these teams, especially these smaller programs, they want to duplicate what we saw with Deion Sanders, where he goes to Colorado and he's still able to get 5-star recruits there, or Jackson State rather, and Colorado, but Jackson State specifically so, because this is Norfolk State. You had a similar thing happen with who was it? Was it Jackson State? It might have even been Jackson State, but somebody, Ed Reed was coaching for an HBCU, and then he ended up quitting. He was like, man, they're stealing my fucking money. So maybe it wasn't Jackson State then. That'd be kind of fucking crazy. Although that is what Deion said too. Deion was like, yeah, they were stealing fucking money in that bitch. They were fucking stealing everything that wasn't fucking nailed down to the ground. Let's see, as a coach, assistant. I mean, this says that he wasn't a head coach anywhere, but I could have swore he was a fucking head coach at HBCU. This is Ed Reed I'm talking about right now. Coaching career. Recontinued his criticism of the university. So maybe he never ended up coaching. Oh, Bethan Cookman. All right. Well, hey, bro, thank your lucky stars you're out of there, brother. They did you a favor. It's all about denying the fans. They could have been witness to a record-breaking rushing day. Fair enough. Which would have helped the vendors on the last day to make money selling food and souvenirs. That's actually absolutely true, and that's a good point. That's a fair point. That's a cold-hearted, not cold-hearted. It's actually a warm-hearted capitalist take, and you know that's rare. But I think you actually nailed the balance there, and that is a I think that's an excellent point. I mean, that's part of like with the NBA, all the sitting down. There was the Dallas Mavericks were playing because I'm a little bit of a degenerate gambler as well. They were playing somebody, and I think maybe it was the Celtics or something, and they sat fucking Kyrie and sat Luca, and I'm just like, it was at the Mavs, so I was like, okay, well that's good. I'm glad they at least considered that. I suppose, like at least the kids and the people of Dallas get many opportunities to watch Luca and Kyrie play. But you're 100% right. As far as like the fans, and then obviously I think about the kids specifically as far as like how much of an impact going to a football game can have on a kid's life. It can literally change their life. And I definitely think that our athletes and the coaches and administrative people, as much as they're concerned about winning, allegedly, you fucking can't tell half the time, but as much as they use that as an excuse for these decisions, it seems like it lacks that kind of perspective for sure. And that just kind of like there is a loser in that. Somebody does end up, in this case, you make a great point with something I wasn't thinking about, which is the vendors, as far as like less people coming to the game because they know that the team is basically called off. And how that affects those kind of sales for the last time those vendors may get an opportunity. I don't know if they're going to have any home games but either way, that doesn't even matter because plenty of teams sat that won't have home games, so it applies regardless. So I mean, great point. I like that, G. Like I said, man, you make me think about extra perspective there. I appreciate that. Tom Brady and the Patriots did that the year they tried to go undefeated. They sat people or played people? Because if they try to go undefeated, it makes it sound like they played people. Which I've heard. I think it was Peyton Manning. I've heard talk about this where there was a year where they sat people, and then the next week they came back and they felt like they were kind of rusty. So then the next year they ended up playing the last game, even though they had clinched the playoffs, just to prevent that kind of rust. Although it's probably just a psychological thing. You got beat by the fucking Patriots and they're better than you. Yeah, but it has changed and they draft running QBs. Agreed on that. They definitely do draft running QBs. I have Barry Sanders rookie card. Hold on to that one, bro. Or actually, it might be a good time to let it go. He just held on to his college record after Ashton Genty didn't break it. So who knows? That value might actually popped up a little bit. I talked to him not too long ago also. If you're talking about Michael Vick or the guy that was trying to link you up with Michael Vick, I definitely think you should do that, Gates. You gotta really advocate for that though, because obviously it's not going to be those people's priority, whether it be Michael Vick or the guy that's being the in-between man. When they think about it, I'm sure they'll move in good faith, but you gotta really, be the squeaky wheel. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. And oil in this case is fucking Michael Vick. Put it on our podcast, make them go. Sat people. I don't know what the fuck sat people meant. As far as like sitting people though, I mean, I don't know what you're referring to necessarily, but we are on the same page. Definitely the sitting people is just fucking absolute bananas and shenanigans. But here, I gotta hop off here, guys, because it's getting late. I love sitting here chilling with you guys. It is fucking 3 a.m. And like I said, my daughter was stirring, so I know she's probably already up in there. This was awesome getting to sit here and kick back and chill. Gee, like I said, man, go find us on YouTube, Sit in Politic. Just because we're more reliable over there, and it was great getting to vibe with you and get to hear your perspective. I think I'll be on here tomorrow, by the way, so hit the notifications or Gates or anybody that wants to hop on and collab and just chop it up. Y'all are welcome. Who else do we have in here? I want to make sure I shout out everybody that hopped in here with us tonight. Lord Cabber, now you're the man, and the white rapper, he was based, man. Hey, if you want to hop in and you want to support the white rapper that has a racist tick, then I'm not against that. He needs support. I mean, he needs support too. And also, by the way, his name was, oh fuck, what was it? Jin Lee or some shit like that. Go check out his single Big. Everything you're doing big. He's going big. I don't remember anything else about that song. That shit was mid. But G, no, also I gotta say, G and Gates Open, I super appreciate y'all sitting here kicking it with me for this long period of time. We were in here for like 2 hours just kicking it. It was really cool. And I appreciate your guys' perspective. And it was a good time. Let's see what you got to say here. Got to make sure no dogs are harmed. I don't know, brother. If he sees that, if he sees that you said that, he might be out. He might be no longer willing to collaborate. But the thing is, we're journalists. We can't sit down with you, Mr. Vic, and not ask the hard-hitting questions. Why'd you shoot the fucking dogs, bro? What time? I'm not sure about what time, because I'm gonna be watching the UFC fights tomorrow. So I might go live for that, like the main card, but it is a dog shit card. And I'll definitely be watching the football game tomorrow. There's NFL playoffs tomorrow. So I'll probably do it around that at some time, but I don't want to lie to y'all and I would love to give you a specific time. So, I could lock in with you here, but then I'd hate to leave you hanging and not be here when I say I'm going to be here. So I got to say it probably is going to be between 8 and then 10 when I start. I could start as late as 10 and I could start as early as 8, to be honest. It's really going to be how the day plays out. Gee, cool, good show. Thanks. Absolutely, 100%, brother. No, you're the man, and it was a good session. It was good chopping it up, and I'd love to do that in the future. I did miss out on the fucking Piers Morgan videos, just so y'all get a little taste
Mark
here.
Zuckerberg blatantly admitted that both Facebook.
We will get into that on some political stuff probably tomorrow, because I already have the video here. I just need to watch it. We just got into such good vibes and good conversation. Yeah, Ravens versus the Steelers. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like I said, I'm a little bit of a degenerate gambler at this point in my life, so I have money on the game. I might hop on here and you guys might get to see me fucking just stress out. That could be fun. I was doing some jiu-jitsu. There, a doctor in town, he invited me. Man, I got to get out there and roll and show y'all what's up. Choke you out on the mat. Honestly, y'all don't know that I had those skills like that, but I actually do. I play it cool. You know what I mean? I play it cool as the ha ha ha, because I do. I'm at the point in my life where the stand-up comedy is something I'm pursuing, and I'm having a good time with that. But if I do have to choke a bitch out until they're unconscious on the fucking street, I can. Okay, just there. I wouldn't do it to you guys though. I would not do it to you guys because I fuck with you heavy. But yeah, this Ravens game, that's definitely, I'm probably not the beginning of the game, but during that Ravens game, I'll probably go live. And then that'll lead right into like all the UFC and if there's another football game, I feel like there might be 2 football games tomorrow. So it's been a great fucking weekend. And honestly, it has been a great weekend for the degenerate betting. I should honestly get you guys in here so you could tail me if you want. I'm not an expert, but I have been making money on this shit. But that could go bad really quickly, and it has gone bad several times. So full transparency on the pod. I always liked the Steelers. Tomlin used to coach with the Bucks. No, you're 100% right. Tomlin's a monster. This might be his last year with the Steelers, although he's probably using it as like a contract negotiation tactic and leverage. But he's kind of non-committal, doesn't want to talk about it publicly, which I respect. That's why you fuck with Tomlin, though, because he is professional in that way, and he's not going to sit there and air the shit out like Tyreek Hill, fucking pussy Tyreek Hill over here, literally crying at the. I can't give it even as much time because I already said goodbye. So there's going to have to be another video where I have to call this bastard out. But no, all this bullshit where he's fucking crying by his locker. I don't know, guys. I think I'm out. I think I'm out now. I don't know. Okay, fuck you. Get out. Again, like I just can't handle the spoiled shit. I really can't. Like, you get paid fucking $50 million a year to catch the fucking ball. We let you run around and impregnate women at will in this fucking goddamn fucking city. We fucking you're suing the goddamn fucking police department of Miami, you motherfucker. Like, you play like dog shit this year, and honestly, I was defending this motherfucker. But for him to act like a little bitch by his fucking locker at the end of the game, I don't know, guys. I just say it was good playing here, but I'm out. Where the fuck are you out to? Bro, you can't run from fucking child support. That shit is nationwide. I'm sorry. These ladies will find you, bro. They know where the NFL is. They'll send the letters right to them. You want to fucking get funny and try to fucking go move out to Denver or some shit. You think you're going to fucking lose the 10 baby moms that you acquired in fucking Florida. Nope. Sorry, bro. You're locked in with us, just like we're locked in with you. And I fucking was, I'm not going to say I was overlooking the fucking crazy 10 different baby mamas shit. It was a little disappointing and it was a red flag. And I really didn't appreciate it. But at the end of the day, you know, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And I understood. Look, hey, at the end of the day, he ran really fast and he caught fucking balls good. Now you're not doing that. And I actually don't even have the biggest issue with that because you did that well for us. And that means something to me and it's okay, baby. It's okay. But where I end up having an issue, and I sat not on these chairs, but other chairs in this room, arguing with motherfuckers at the top of my lungs for another man. And I'm saying, look at the leadership. He's completely turned. He's been a huge part of turning around the franchise. You know, he's done more than what you expect from a typical wide receiver. And I'm talking about off the field shit. Obviously, he was doing way more off the field shit after he was doing those little fucking photo ops at the charity event. He's fucking piping down PTA moms. They're fucking popping out little Tyreek Hills that in fucking 20 years will be NFL caliber wide receivers. Whether they fucking make it or not, who knows? Who knows? Tyreek Hill's gonna be. Remember Tyreek, the fucking See, now I gotta bring up the shit, bro. Tyreek Hill. Now I gotta bring up the uncomfortable shit, bro. The video of Tyreek Hill, and I'm gonna have to get it for next time I do a pod, just so we can play it because it's so psycho. But there's this video. I shouldn't even be laughing at it, but it is funny. I'm sorry, it's funny. He's like, it's a video of his woman asking about like the kids, and he's like, well, she's like to him, they're with fear in her fucking voice. They're afraid of you, and he's like, they fucking better be. Okay, you know who's not afraid of you? The fucking opposing defense this year. They're looking at you and they think you lost a step, bro. They think the cheetah turned into the fucking jaguar, and they might have been right. I'm going to have to ask my cousin about that. He lived there. I don't know what exactly you're talking about. If you're talking about the Deion Sanders shit, or if we're talking about Miami and we're talking about going down there and riding on this pitch. Pissing me off talking about the Dolphins. No, I loved you, bro, for real. But no, the Tyreek Hill situation is definitely disappointing on a real note. Yeah, it's the thing is, as they say, the juice isn't worth the squeeze at this point. And I'm not even making a statement that, hey, he's completely washed based off this season. It's just that if you're going to be that level of distraction, literally say you want out, quit on the team. I don't know if y'all saw the video, but there's literally a video of Jalen Waddle being like, hey, are you out, Cheetah? The fuck are you doing? Get on the field, bro. What is it? Are you out, Cheetah? Why are we asking fucking grown man that? Why are we calling him fucking Cheetah? Your nickname could be Cheetah. I'm just saying I'm not going to call you that and refer to you as that. You know, I have no problem saying like, hey, man, when talking about his film or whatever, I'm like, hey, he's fast as a cheetah. I see why they call him that. Though, I'm not going to call a fucking man a cheetah. But that's not even the problem. The problem is the total lack of leadership, the total collapse, him being mentally weak, completely folding. And also, bro he got handcuffed tight and then couldn't catch passes for an entire year. At first, I was like, hey, let's give him a break. You know, he said he hurt his wrist, getting handcuffed really hard. Bro thought the fucking insurance adjusters, whoever the fuck, he thought they were in the crowd or something. He was playing it off every week. Showing up to fucking games like he's got the fucking bowling tournament that he's about to attend with the wrist wraps and shit. Like, get over that, man. I'm sorry, you got handcuffed kind of tight. And like I said, I'm great. I'm gracious, bro. You can. The next week, maybe that's a problem. But 17 weeks, stop acting like a little bitch. Stop acting like a little bitch, bro. The season got thrown away. It was rough for a Dolphins fan, but we got next year. The Florida Gators looking up a little bit. I'm loving that. I am a Pacers fan. They're looking a little nice, but not championship worthy. I don't know. at this point, I'm just going down all the teams that fucking break my heart. But gates open. We are going to shoot for around that Ravens game. Like I said, probably not the beginning, but after it's got going a little bit. I'm thinking realistically, probably like I said, 8 to 10 is probably when I'll hop on here, but probably closer to 9 or 10. But we will see. And other than that, somebody's trying to even come out in my garage right now and probably fucking do a little smoking. So much love, y'all. We will see you on the flip side. It's been real.